Carlton Football Club have won once on the road under Dennis Pagan, and that was here against Adelaide in round 11 of 2004. The Blues in a thriller that afternoon, home by 4 points. They're sitting 13th position, 2 wins, 6 losses. Their opponents this afternoon, the Adelaide Crows, 3rd position, 6 wins, 2 losses. The Crows having won 5 of their last 6 and 13 of 15 here at AAMI Stadium in the last 12 months. Good afternoon, welcome to AAMI Stadium in Adelaide for Saturday afternoon football, the round 9 clash between the Adelaide Crows and Carlton. Jason Bennett alongside Chris McDermott with Wayne Schwass and Richard Osborne to join us shortly. And Chris, there's been plenty of talk during the week, probably the most talk, the most criticism ever of a side losing by 3 points.
No doubt about it.
It's generated enormous discussion.
Under siege all week, Adelaide. Why didn't they man up? Look pretty simple. That man there on screen, Neil Craig, has copped plenty, but answered the critics, put his hands up and said, yes, I made a mistake. He won't make it again today.
Was a remarkable week in Adelaide as we take a look at the flyovers, and here's Brendan Favola, who really is the man for Carlton this afternoon. Great record against Adelaide. And
he loves AAMI Stadium. If he kicks 7 or 8, they're a chance to win, but he's the key man for Carlton in attack.
Young Luke Blackwell in for his second game. Lance Whitnell can play forward, he can play back. You get the feeling we'll probably see a bit of both today.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It'll be interesting to see where he does start. If he starts up forward, Carlton are on the attack. If he starts down back, you know it's all about defence.
Through the middle of the ground, Brett Burton and Martin Mattner so difficult to match up on, and Simon Goodwin, the #1 ball getter in the comp.
Well, they've all got big engines, those three. They run all day. Brett Burton gives you plenty. Simon Goodwin in career best form, and Martin Mattner, the best tackler in the competition.
On ball is Nick Stevens. Robert Shirley likely to get the role on him?
Yeah, absolutely certainly. Shirley will get him. Kuda Feeders and Stevens got to win some contested footy. Got to win the balls at the clearances. Give Carlton first look at it.
Cross half forward, Ken McGregor, and Hayden Skipworth, the late inclusion in last night for Tyson Edwards, who rolled his ankle in the gutter.
Tyson, what were you thinking? Skipworth gets a chance. He always plays well, loves AAMI Stadium.
He spent some time in gutters over the years, but never rolled an ankle, as far as I know. Up forward, Mark Rasciuto in fantastic form this season. Ian Prendergast and David Teague back into the lineup.
Keep your eye on Mark Rasciuto. Saw him after the last week's game. He was limping heavily. I'm not convinced he's 100% fit.
There's the benches. Clark, Van Berlo, Knights and Matthew Bode for the Adelaide Crows. And for the Blues, French, Houlihan, Bentick and the youngster Josh Kennedy. Very impressive prospect from WA. Well, let's talk a little bit about last week's tactics from Richmond and Terry Wallace. It's always got that value up front to do it first time and catch them out by surprise. For Dennis Pagan, do they follow that path or do they go well away from it?
I think he's already announced his hand. Dennis Pagan said, no, we can't do it. Terry Wallace pinched my game plan, so I've got to find something else different to do. I think Carlton will come out and attack. They want to back themselves in. I mean, their backs are to the wall at the moment. Dennis Pagan's picked his Warriors. I mean, Spawn, Teague, Prendergast come back in the team, so you know they're going to be in the trench today. I think he'll attack at the start.
And where they've had their success here at AAMI Stadium is playing attacking football, and the man up front they've got to go to is Brendan Favola. He's the #1 goal kicker in the competition. He's kicked 30 goals, 21 for the season. And he's polled Brownlow votes in his last 2 games against the Crows.
And he kicks very straight here at AAMI Stadium. The last week maybe not so, but he does kick beautifully for goals here. He'll be full of confidence, and they often give him plenty of space here too. Benny Rutten will get a crack at him. Nathan Bassett will get a crack at him. The problem for Adelaide is there's no Ben Hart to chip across in front of Favola and intercept those passes. So that is a big matchup today.
Well, there's no Ben Hart for the Adelaide Crows, but there is for us. Here he is on the boundary line with Richard Osborne.
Well, Ben, a terrific day for football. I'm sure you'd rather be out there yourself. How's the arm going?
Yeah, it's a great day. It's pretty good. They put a plate in it on Wednesday, so hopefully that'll make it nice and strong. Probably won't play for 6 to 8 weeks though.
And when you come back, you think you'd be wearing a brace or any sort of protective gear?
Yeah, probably some sort of guard over there just to make sure to give it a little bit more protection against a hit, but hopefully it'll heal up nice and strong.
Been a fair bit said about last week's game. You know, it's pretty rough. You've only lost by 3 points, but I'm sure there's been a lot more said in Adelaide than in Melbourne. What are your thoughts on that as a player?
Yeah, not too much. I think they did it pretty well, Richmond. They won the game, they got in front and then held on. So within the rules, and yeah, probably blown up a little bit.
Well, thanks, Ben. Let's see you out in the park sooner rather than later, champ.
No worries. Thanks, Ozzy.
Richard Osborne with Ben Hart. Simon Goodwin, we mentioned his significance as the ball winner. He's the real engine room starter for the Adelaide Crows. And not only is he dangerous because he wins contested football, but he's a very long kick. He's kicked #2 in the competition for long kicks this season.
Neil Craig's really helped Simon Goodwin's game. I reckon he's straightened him up a lot. A couple of years ago, he was kicking the ball sideways, not getting the most value out of his touches. Now, all of a sudden, he's breaking lines, getting a lot of ball in the midfield. As you said, winning some really good contested footy, and his leg is second to none in this team. In great form, and often finds and links up very well with Mark Rasciuto Prosciutto up forward.
And while Brendan Favola's the key, deep inside attack for the Blues, this man's the X-Factor, Lance Whitnell. He's played forward with success against Adelaide over the journey. He's kicked 24 goals in 13 games against them, including 6 straight back in 2000, and he's just got such a great ability to read the play.
Yeah, love Lance. He's the key player. I mean, he, Koutafidis and Favola hold Carlton's fate in their hands today. Love to see him start up forward at centre-half forward, command that position. If he does, you know Carlton are on the attack. Don't be surprised to see him down back at some stage, though.
Well, the Adelaide Crows go in as red-hot favourites, but we've seen upsets here before, and from the Blues, they'll go in and have a crack this afternoon. It promises to be an interesting afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon football from Amy Stadium. Adelaide and Carlton opening bounce next.
The housemates think that this Sunday is just a normal eviction. They're so wrong. Live, 6:30 Sunday, Big Brother has an Australian first. A 2-hour live event that'll blow you away. All will be revealed in a must-watch 2-hour Big Brother, live, 6:30 Sunday on 10. Ready for the next big twist?
We travel the world to bring you the delicious taste of Italy. The special edition Parmigiana sub, yumma mia. Parmigiana combo, just $6.95. Taste the world at Red Rooster.
Until now, mobile phone coverage Australia-wide was out of the question, or it'd cost you an arm and a leg. But Global Star gives you 100% coverage, with satellite calls from just 30 cents per 30 seconds. Get on board to Global Star.
In 1966, England went wild when their team won the World Cup. In 1986, it was Argentina's turn. Now, in 2006, Australia wins. Thanks to Hyundai World Cup Fever. Score with World Cup-worthy deals on a range of new Hyundais. Save thousands with special offers and World Cup editions. So start celebrating Australia. See your Hyundai dealer today and save. Official partner of the 2006 FIFA World Cup.
AFL is back on 10 in 2006. Harvey Norman brings the stadium to your home. Get front row seats for today's big game on 10 with this incredible widescreen experience. Get yourself into the thrilling live atmosphere of Panasonic's widescreen plasma TVs and home theatre systems. Grab a winning deal today from Harvey Norman. AFL on 10. Seriously.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. Great to have you with us wherever you might be watching around Australia on Fox Footy or the 10 Network, and indeed to our friends across the Tasman in New Zealand on Sky joining us this afternoon for Saturday afternoon football. And speaking of New Zealanders, good afternoon and welcome to Wayne Schwartz.
Good afternoon, Jason. Good afternoon to all our friends watching over there in New Zealand. Good to have them on board.
Looking forward to a entertaining clash this afternoon. There's the two skippers, Anthony Koutafidis and Mark Prosciutto. Beautiful day in Adelaide. Little bit of breeze around, but all things considered, fantastic conditions. Mark Prosciutto wins the toss. The Crows will kick to the left of screen in the opening term. And a fantastic AFL initiative here this weekend, created by AFL Commissioner Bob Hammond. There was a terrible tragedy at a munitions factory in Gladstone here in South Australia recently. 3 men lost their lives, all involved in their local football club, and it really has devastated their local community. Damien Harris, Matthew Keeley, Darren Millington from Gladstone, the South Flinders Football Club. And there's a donation, there's an appeal, the Footy for Gladstone appeal, and you can make donations to any South Australian Westpac branch or indeed to the SANFL, Post Office Box 1, Westlake 5021. The AFL giving away free footy records today in exchange for a gold coin donation to raise money for Damien Harris, Matthew Keeley and Darren Millington's families. And we wish them all the best. Our thoughts are with them. Chris McDermott, the Blues come over here, in a sense, with nothing to lose, but plenty of pride on the line. They've copped some beltings in recent times, and they are a very proud football club.
Certainly those two men on your screen there, Nick Stevens, Brendan Favola, in for a big game today. They've got to stand up, have an influence on this game of footy. We'll know a lot about this game by quarter time. Carlton have got to come out and attack, take it up with the Crows. Dennis Pagan's included his Warriors in the team, and it is on already. Carlton have definitely come to play. They'll take it up to the Crows. The Crows have copped it in the media all week, so this will be physical.
The Blues coming off a 92-point loss We are ready to go. Big crowd in here at Amy Stadium. Beautiful conditions. If the disc jockey could just turn the music off, we can get the game underway.
Thought David Teague might have gone to Mark Rasciuto. It's in a surprise, it's Corey McGrath. So Trent Spawn there with a big job on Simon Goodwin.
Opening bounce at Amy Stadium. McLaren in the ruck, gets the tap. He was looking for Stevens. He's swamped. Koutafidis. Hot football early as you'd expect. Walker flicks it out into open space. Chance for Prendergast. Handball to Scotland. Quick hands to Stevens. Blues get first usage inside 50. It's a terrible kick from Stevens. Puts his man under enormous pressure. Bassett in there over the top of Luke Blackwell. Massey paddles forward to John Cock. Now back to Bassett. Shirley goes towards the wing. He finds the champ McLeod. Streaming forward to the football was Burton. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Burton will want to take for Voleron. Fancies his chances from 45 and misses.
Promising build-up there by the Adelaide Crows, and unfortunately Brett Burton wanted the right boot, had to go on the left, and there's the first score for the afternoon. Behind are the Adelaide Crows. Koutafidis takes it on the chest. Lays the handball off. That's a poor kick though from Prendergast. The Crows, they've got the numbers. Henschel to Burton. Couple of early touches. One of them are behind. He's got a loose player inside the centre square. It's a good centering kick. Dowdy. Rasciuto goes. McGregor wants it long. That's the direction he heads. One out. Top of the square. Bouncing ball all the way. There's the first for the afternoon.
It's the end of financial year, and people who know their numbers know now's the time to buy Toyota. 2.7 litre petrol Hilux 4x2 double cab Workmate, just $26,490 with air. V8 Land Cruiser 100 GXL with alloy wheels and air conditioning, now $56,990. The #1 event from Australia's #1 car company. Get in now while Toyota means business.
Carlton pay.
Most ominous for the Blues is the fact that twice now Adelaide have been able to look up into the corridor and find uncontested men.
You cannot turn the footy over with bad foot skills against the Crows. You will get killed if you do.
Bigland's got it down to Thompson. It was beautiful ruck work inside 50. Rasciuto nudged under the football. McGrath at the back. Now Scotland. Livingston and Thornton. To Wiggins at defensive 50. Looks up. He's got a man short. It's Spawn. Young South Australian, grew up playing football in North Adelaide. A very proud sporting family, the Spawns in South Australia. Here's McGrath on the outer wing, goes short to Stevens. Blues need to be precise. Plenty of numbers back for the Crows. It's going to be one of those sort of games. Both sides will push numbers back. Whitnell was the target. Kick hung in the air. Here's McLeod. Takes McGrath on, goes for a run. He's got nothing inside 50. Might go all the way, McLeod. He gets to 55, tries to square it up. Wasn't 15. Henschel will kick and miss. For a split second there, it opened up for Andrew McLeod. In the end, he did the team thing. Might have been too unselfish.
Didn't hit it properly either. Had Kenny McGregor in the goal square. Should have gone there, but once again, Carlton turning the ball over. If they make continual errors by foot, as we've said before, they will suffer. Crows all over them at the early stages of this game.
Walker will get it back. Dowdy comes to pressure him. Now Livingston and Spawn. Shepherd from T gives Spawn some time. Goes to Murphy, had to stand underneath it. Goodwin picks it off. That's the turnovers we're talking about. John Cock from 55 sets sail for home and kicks a goal. Counter-punch football from the Crows.
Bunnings take a lot of care over who they employ. So I think when people come into the store, they're dealing with people who are genuinely interested in them. They get really good service, good advice.
Moraday screw-on door seal, only $14.95. Bosch lithium cordless driver, $66. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Compost bin, $39.99. Rich Grow organic rose marble, just $5.95.
So I think that makes them want to come back.
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Not executing.
18 possessions to 15 in favour of Carlton, yet they trail 2-2. to no score. Costly turnovers for the Blues. Against a very skillful side, as you've said, Chris. And they go again. Thompson got it down to Goodwin. High ball. Big pack forms. Fist on the ball favours McGregor. Boundary line wins this race. Another throw in inside the Adelaide Crows forward 50.
Swatter Dennis Pagan wasted no time. 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. Lance Whitnell was at centre half forward. He has gone into defence.
Well, no surprise there.
Inside 50s, 5-zip in favour of Adelaide.
Biglands and McLaren. Riley got a boot to it, didn't go anywhere though. Pack forms. We'll have a bounce. Benches for the Blues. Young Josh Kennedy, Barnaby French, Houlihan and Bentic. Biglands to Burton, went without it, got his hands on the ball. Walker, support from Scotland. Gives it to Whitnell, bereft of options, Lance. Look out, Simpson. Set upon, T. Got a handball to McLaren. Indiscriminately fired a handball out into the corridor. That's dangerous. Coming through Stevens. That was good play. Put his body on the line. There's a whistle on play. Advantage. McLeod over the top to Riley. In some space. Takes a mark in front of Corey McGrath as Nick Stevens on his haunches at centre half back for the Blues. But the ball in the hands of Brent Riley at the moment, Chris.
Alarm bells have got to be going off in the Carlton box. Once again, too slow to get the ball out of the danger zone. Carlton, Nick Stevens' body on the line, but it's too late at that stage. The error had been made. Andrew McLeod, foot skills back to where they should be. Crows with another shot on goal. And worrying signs if you're a Blues fan.
16 possessions last week. He's kicked his first goal this afternoon. Brent Riley and the Adelaide Crows have got 3.
Right, Bunny, we're off. We'll see you at the party.
Yeah, no worries, fellas.
Bye.
I'll see you there.
Clever, fellas. Very clever.
I like a bloke who's man enough to wear pink. Come meet my friends.
Sure. Cheers for the fashion tip, fellas.
Classic.
I get the feeling at the moment Carlton are coming off half-back and looking for an open man. If they can't get an open man, they're not delivering it. Instead of just kicking to a one-on-one contest and backing their teammate to win the ball.
Got to get distance against the Crows.
They get it out of the middle again. It's one-way traffic. Inside 50s, 8-0 now, and there's the man, Lance Whitnell, that we spoke about. That's going to come back because it was a mark. Andrew Walker's complaining, but you can't pay advantage off a mark, Andrew.
Great courage from Lance Whitnell too. Back with the fly to the footy. Started the game at centre half forward. Didn't take long for him to go into defence. Carlton in damage mode at the moment. Lance Whitnell holding up under severe pressure.
The Blues insular a little bit at the moment. They need to... They've played the huddle there and got a couple of breaks away. Ignored those. Went to a contest. Oh! What a beauty! Oh, he's an exciting player, Brett Burton. Goes to 50. Whitnell, chopping of the arm. It'll be a free kick to Adelaide. Stevens goes inside 50. Henschel works to the front with strength. So Trent Henschel from 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. Big crowd here at AAMI Stadium, brought to their feet by Brett Burton, who has got this amazing ability to hang in the air and almost change direction in the air. Oh, a ripper.
You'll like that one, that's for sure. Plenty of talk about that one after the game. Trent Henschel with the footy. Options galore for the Crows up forward.
Henschel. He's kicked 10 goals, 10 for the season. This for Adelaide's 4th. Got it. Crows are up and going. Henschel gets his 50th career goal.
The Stratco Outback. A place to relax and enjoy your own backyard or entertain family and friends. As a stylish and affordable addition, the Stratco Outback Veranda Patio will improve the look and value of your home. So, for a complete lifestyle solution designed to your individual needs, contact Stratco or an authorised veranda patio dealer and start enjoying life out back.
What you need today?
9 minutes gone, first term here at AAMI Stadium. Saturday afternoon football, the Adelaide Crows 4 goals to 26. Carlton yet to score. All single goal scorers. Dowdy, John Cock, Riley and Henschel. And this is where they've set it all up. Koutafidis needed to be quick. Could have been holding the ball somehow. Ball spills free. Simpson needs to be clean. Good tackle, Biglands. They go again. Matner onto this man. He's finding plenty of it. Andrew McLeod. He's got loose players everywhere, one of which on this occasion, Scott Stevens, the former Swan. He'll go back and line up for his first. More importantly, the Adelaide Crows' fifth.
There's a lot of Carlton players standing by themselves, looking around, confused at the moment, Chris.
Oh, absolutely shell-shocked. Just overusing the handball again. The turnover comes. It's a smooth-looking Andrew McLeod that's taken the field today. Scotty Stevens spent a lot of time for the Crows down back last week, but he can play up forward.
Gets his first. He applauds the good work. Gets the customary pats on the back, high fives, high tens to all the Adelaide Crows here at the moment, Chris.
Oh, ugly signs if you're a Carlton fan. Yet to get the ball inside 50. Crows with ease too, no pressure. I mean, Carlton started the game pushing and shoving, looked like they were going to be aggressive. Haven't fired a shot so far, getting smashed in the middle, overusing the ball, and the Crows at their best. This team can play, that is for sure, and that man on screen, not too many wrinkles yet, but there'll be a few if this keeps up.
We're on world record pace at the moment, Adelaide. 5 goals in 10 minutes to start the game. French wins it out of the middle, thumps it towards 50, doesn't quite get it in there, and Bassett takes the mark. The Blues just don't have numbers where the ball is at the moment. Doughty, as Jack Dyer once said, it ain't no good being where the ball ain't. Doughty to Shirley, inside 50. Walker. Prendergast, back to Andrew Walker. Here's Murphy forward of the football in some space. Looks up, has got Favola one-on-one with Rutten inside 50. Kicks to his advantage. Rutten did well, got across, got a hand in and punched it to the line.
Brendan Favola had done it well. It dragged Benny Rutten out of the goal square, got him into unfamiliar territory, but the All-Australian fullback getting a nice little fist to the ball.
So the Blues inside 50 for the first time. It's taken them 11 minutes. Bigland's got the tap. Goodwin. Quick kick. Towards the wing. Here's Prendergast. His 5th touch coming up. Goes down the line. Koutafidis punched away from him at ground level. Murphy was hunting. Thompson came through. Biglands. And now Bassett. Handball missed the body under some pressure.
Clever.
Did it beautifully. Tapped it to the advantage of Stevens. Now Matner. Shirley. It ends up with McGregor on centre wing. He looks up to 50. Livingston one out with Henschel. Clears that contest. Blues get some numbers back in support in the form of Thornton. And he takes it to the line, 30 metres out from the Adelaide goal.
Yeah, difficult for Carlton to score now. They've pushed numbers back. It's damage control for Dennis Pagan and Carlton. Halfway through the first quarter, the Crows have got 5.
Bode on for Thompson. Matthew Bode's first run. Barnaby French got the tap down to Bentic. Tight on the boundary line, brings it back. Nice kick to McGrath. 5-2 plays, no score. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. No football yet to play, but making light work of the opposition at the moment, Chris. The Adelaide Crows.
And so hard for Carlton to score now. Push so many numbers back. They're going to play possession footy for a while, but you know they're going to turn the football over at some stage and the Crows will pounce.
Wiggins. It's down the line to Scotland. Paid a visit to the barber during the week, Heath. Heath Scotland. Now up against the boundary line. Called to play on. Goes to Lappin. Bangs a high ball. Inside the square. Prendergast. Good grab. He's certainly been busy. Leading possession winner for Carlton with number 7. Goes down to Thornton, to Favola. He's got away from Rutten, but the ball had too much carry on it. Bouncing ball. French leads in the race. He's got support. Kept the ball free. Did well. Favola, tight angle, will bring the ball back across the face of goal. And Scott Stevens from one end of the ground to the other, and they go again, the Adelaide Crows.
It's good hard running from Barnaby French to try and create an option, but now it's going back the other way. Bassett to Massey. Time for a bounce. Wants to draw Lappin towards him. Goes outside to Johncock. Bit of twinkle toe magic from Johncock. Steps around a couple. Goes around 3 does Johncock. Handball to Doughty. He flicks it backward. Riley. A little bit fiddly at the moment from the Crows. Burton. Now Doughty. High ball inside 50. Teague will come across. And standing at the front was Wiggins. Now to Bentic. Simpson's worked hard to get into open space. He goes over the top of Stevens, who has to stand and wait. McLeod arrives late, and Stevens marks just inside the line. That kick fortuitous in the end, and it's going to come back.
No, it's out of bounds, and I reckon the boundary umpire's got this right. No, he hasn't. Nice stand corrected.
He's going to bring it back. Stevens will have his kick.
I didn't see it there, but double grabbed as the ball went out of bounds.
So Thornton's pushed up towards the wing. Goes down the line, was looking for Simpson, too much on the kick. Whitnell thought about the give. Inside 50, but numbers back again for Adelaide. This time it's Bassett.
Just cannot possibly score at the moment, Carlton. Cannot score. Only Brendan Favola inside 53 Crows opponents there.
Stevens to Bassett. Just the ease with which Adelaide move it out of their defensive 50 compared to Carlton. Good work from Teague. Bump boat off the football. Prendergast arrives in support.
Got Favola.
Go to Teague. He's got Favola inside. He's got Murphy and he's got Koutafidis. Murphy wins the lottery. 20 metres out directly in front. And for the first time this afternoon, it's Adelaide beset by some confusion.
Yeah, well, they just get a little bit cute, and they have the last couple of weeks too. When they've dominated passages of play for a while, they start to overuse the footy. Carlton with a chance to get there first, and don't they need it.
Murphy for goal number 5 in his fledgling career. He slots it through. Blues are on the board after 16 minutes at Amy Stadium.
Brand new 8:30 Sunday.
A case so big, we had to call in the big guns.
Detective Goran.
Detective Logan.
It's tough. They'll tackle a case together for the very first time.
A crime so twisted, it can only be solved by TV's finest.
No body, no case.
I don't think so. A special movie-length Criminal Intent.
There they go. Oceans 2. 8:30 Sunday on 10.
16 minutes it took. Let's have another look at that Nick Stevens. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Good mark, good call. Carlton finally on the board. Mark Murphy. We need plenty more of that though. Skipworth around the corner. Walker did well. Well, coming through there was Bode, but Teague stood in the tackle, did well. Wiggins releases the handball. Tough half volley for Thornton. He's got support from Stevens. Ignores that. Goes back to Walker. Heads up the middle and finds Bentic. Scotland provides the run. Important kick. Favours Lappin. Good one. Inside the centre square. Favola wants it long and quick. Ignores that. Whitnell. Well, that's better. They just look as though they've steadied. They've withstood the onslaught. It could have got very ugly. It was certainly giving that indication, but a chance for a consecutive goal.
And all of a sudden moving the ball with some speed up the corridor. We've seen them over-possess the footy and take too long to move it forward. All of a sudden, some swift movement of the ball. A little bit of purpose about what they do. Footy ends up in the right bloke's hands. Lance Whitnell, such an important player. Big goal, this one. Really important. Momentum just swinging a fraction.
319 career goals. And that won't be 320, but the ball stays in. Favola. Well, Matthew Clark just fell asleep.
He's come around behind the boundary umpire.
It's a pickpocket. Well, it's a Tony Hall pocket. What does he do here, Chris?
He'll go to Checky for sure. Only way he can possibly kick a goal here. And Favola's love affair with Amy Stadium will continue. He'll kick this.
Well,
told you.
Give a bloke a rap.
Well, technically he did kick it. He just didn't kick a goal.
Ball stays in. McLeod loops the handball over to Goodwin. And for the moment, the Crows, they'll relieve. Bassett can go. Links up with Bode. Gets it back, Bassett. Dangerous handball. Van Berlo stood in the tackle. There's Matthew Clark coming through with great skill. High ball. Outer side of the ground. Too much on it for Henschel. Overran the ball. Mopping up was Walker. Goes back to Thornton. Steadying kick, dangerous. Good kick though in the end and finds Teague.
Carlton showing some good endeavour. Kick from Teague was poor to Wiggins. Just opened the door for Doughty to at least break even and now do better with a free kick. Just the lack of precision hurting the Blues on that occasion. To the top of the square, French arrives late, fists it through for a minor score. So Carlton's endeavour in the last 5 or 6 minutes, pretty good. In fact, their endeavour's been good from the start. It's just their execution now is improving. Got to move the ball quickly. We know with the amount of numbers that they have in their back half, they're always going to have a very wide open front half of the ground. So if they can get the ball in quickly, there's going to be plenty of space for their forwards to work into. Kick from Houlihan rather again to Stevens. Paul.
Yeah, those turnovers again for Carlton, it's obviously more a confidence thing than anything else. Not a lot to do with a skill error, more when you're playing well, as Adelaide are, it's more instinctive play, whereas Carlton, they're thinking too much. Seeds of doubt are going in, and you just turn the ball over when you're not confident.
Going to a lot of static targets as well, the Blues.
Footballers and thinking, it's not a good mix, that one. Got to be instinctive, surely.
They're distant bedfellows most of the time.
What are you laughing at? I'm just laughing at you, Chris, thinking in footballers.
Clark wins the tap. Bentic wins the crumb. Stevens to Scotland, again down the line. That one's out on the full. Free kick will go to Goodwin. He's 65 metres from goal. A massive play is inside the 50, as you can see. So he goes back to go forward. Here's Johncock to try and open up the angle. Got a couple of players calling for it in the corridor. Murphy forced him wide. Now Rutten has it behind the centre circle. He goes short to Bassett. Trying to open up some space inside 50 for the Crows. It's worked. Now the leads come. McGregor's the target. Clears that contest. Skipworth at the back was an awkward one. Houlihan lost it to Burton. Brett Burton on the snap from 40 metres out. Can't bring it back enough. Minor score. 2 behinds to Brett Burton and 1 Specky. The margin 28 points after 21 minutes on Saturday afternoon football. Here's Wayne Schwass.
Bentic, left back pocket. Congested forward 50 for the Adelaide Crows, so Bentic goes short. Is that 15? Well, it's a dubious one. Scotland paid the mark nonetheless.
This is where Adelaide spread, Chris, but Carlton aren't. They're going to static contests.
Yeah, they've just got to try and take some risks, Carlton. They will lose and lose big time if they keep up this warmer play.
Oh, Walker flew high, but Teague was the man in front on the third bite of the cherry. Took the mark. Heads down the line to Whitnell. Great skill, great ball control. Lance Whitnell, just too good on that occasion for Scott Stevens. Houlihan off a couple of steps. Favola. McLeod has to wait, but Fev wanted it more. Go back and kick the goal.
And Murphy's dragging his man back to the square. That'd almost be better advice to stay out of the way.
Favola loads up from 55 metres. Won't get the distance in front. Taking a well-judged mark was Chris Massey. Last line of defence. He releases. He's got a support player there in Johncock, who in turns goes over the top to Matner. Links up with another left footer in Bassett. And he can stroll across half back through the middle of the ground.
No pressure coming out. Through the corridor, they run it straight up the middle to Skipworth. Skipworth spears it to McGregor. And that's where it hurts. The Blues get a chance at the other end. Can't convert. Adelaide run it straight up the middle of the ground and find Ken McGregor just inside the 50, directly in front.
Familiar tale for Carlton. Turning the ball over no matter what part of the ground the Crows make you pay. Kenny McGregor, though, really struggles from outside 50. 40 metres and inside, especially in the corridor, is a beautiful kick for goal. This will take his best leg. Last week we saw him miss maybe 3 times from this exact same distance. Just not able to get the ball in the air. Let's see how he goes.
He's kicked 2 goals, 5 for the season. A gentle breeze here at Amy Stadium, not much more from 55. Keeps it low. And just misses.
Got the yips, Kenny McGregor, at the moment. Just cannot kick the ball. Getting plenty of it, but burning it.
10 scoring shots to 1, and he can make it 11 scoring shots to 1 from the kick-in. Bode's got it. Directly in front, 35 out.
Well, pressure makes players do funny things. Again, the turnover tale continues. Matty Bode reads the ball beautifully. It doesn't get much uglier than that.
6 clangers by foot to 0 against the Blues this afternoon. And they're being made to pay. And Bode does yet again. Splits the middle.
Harvey Norman's massive May computer sale is on now. Prices smashed across all our leading brands on desktop PCs and notebooks. Save over $400 on this Toshiba notebook bundle, now only $1,088. Hot, hot, hot. Save over $150 on this HP Pavilion notebook with dual-core processor for only $1,797. Do more, dual core. And a red-hot $498 for this MyTech desktop. CPU only. Unbeatable. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You don't want to miss out. The Harvey Norman massive May computer sale is on now. And remember, we won't be beaten on price.
Go! Got to move the ball with speed.
35 points the margin. Time on, first term. It's an impressive opening quarter by the home side. Clark and French. French got a hand on it. Plenty of numbers around the ball, one of which was Nick Stevens. Fired out a handball. This man's been everywhere. Andrew McLeod. Shirley. Handball smothered. Houlihan needed to be clean. Simpson over the top. Wraps the Adelaide Crow player up. And we'll have a bounce just on the edge of the square. Nathan Van Berlo gets up last. Whitman at centre forward with two Adelaide Crows players on him at the moment. Favola with Rutten inside the Blues goal square. A lot of numbers around the ball, and we'll have another bounce. Trent Spawn gingerly gets up off the bench. Hayden Kennedy gets play underway again. Houlihan dispossessed. Shirley kick smothered. Scotland working hard. All not going anywhere, and we'll have a third bounce.
Got to find a winner on ball. Carlton desperately needs somebody who can take control of this game. Somebody with a strong body. Two defeatees. Looms as the man, but they need a winner on ball.
Clark, only as far as Lappin. Flips a handball over the top to Bentic. Now Scotland under pressure, releases back to Lappin. Gathers inside the line, wants to sell a dummy. There's a free kick, advantage paid to the Blues from illegal Shepherd. Inside 50 for Vola, the target. He's Cooter reading off the pack. Goes for goal and sprays it. Brendan Favola, a little proppy to get up. Heavy collision in midair. He's looking pretty sore, hobbling around. Aussie will keep an eye on him as Bassett gives it to McLeod. Now to Van Berlo. Kick long down the line. Good strong lead from Henschel. He takes the mark in front of Thornton. Moves it quickly. Goodwin towards Rasciuto. One-on-one with McGrath. McGrath did well. Handball. Inboard to Prendergast. Steps around Massey. Confronted by Bode. Has to deliver it quickly. They're under some pressure. Walker to Wiggins. Now it opens up for the Blues. Nothing at all inside 50, so he just kicks to open space. Simpson versus McLeod. It sits well for the Adelaide start. And he just glides and delivers to Johncock. Now to Goodwin. 8th possession for Simon Goodwin. Thompson has it at defensive 50. This is where the Blues need to maintain the pressure. They concede their own defensive half of the ground too easily at the moment. Adelaide unable to run forward of the centre without any pressure. The turnover comes on this occasion to Stevens. He receives it back from French. Now to Scotland. The important kick inside 50. 2-on-1, 3-on-1, not to Lance's advantage, and he almost marked it. Bassett at ground level. Numbers with the Crows as McLeod releases to Johncock. Johncock now to Thompson. Under 30 seconds remaining until quarter time as Stevens comes off to be replaced by Blackwell. Thompson to Knights. Couldn't hang on, but gathers at ground level. Penetrating kick inside 50. Henschel in best position. And he's got it. And he'll kick for goal after the quarter time siren to extend Adelaide's lead to 40 points.
Great work from Chris Knights. Made the initial error, recovered beautifully, got to Henschel on a one-on-one. That's the difference. The Crows moving the ball with speed. This bloke building a good little reputation for himself. Chance for his second.
Henschel after the siren from 35 metres out, directly in front. Icing on the cake for the Crows. Another super opening term from them. They are a fantastic starting side. Henschel gets his second. And in 5 of the last 6 games, Adelaide now have kept their opponents to just 1 goal in the opening term. The Blues, well, they've only led once at quarter time all season, and today they face a 40-point deficit at the opening change. There's Favola colliding with French about 3 or 4 minutes ago, but at quarter time, it's Adelaide 7-5-47, Carlton 1-1-7. Concern there for Brendan Favola, maybe just a posterior cruciate there with that sort of Ruckman's type injury when shins collide. We'll hear from Richard Osman at quarter time on the fate of Brendan Favola, but the fate of the Blues not pretty at the moment. They trail by 40 points. This is Saturday afternoon football.
Hi, George Danikian. Coming up in 10 years, Australian troops secure key buildings on a day of chaos in Delhi. Frightened locals desperately seek refuge as homes are burned. Adelaide police hunt a gunman who shot a man 3 times in the leg during a neighbourhood dispute. An Adelaide simple marketing concept that could help solve the nation's skills shortage. We'll have the details for you half-time in the football.
Another moment of genius from Toyota. Most memorable grand final moment of all time. Specky of all speckies, taken by another Alex Jesaulenko. Dave, it's 1970, Blues versus Pies. Now, Jezza, you stand here. I'll be Mackay, and Dave, you can be Jurga Jenkins. You happy? It's not... Dave, that was a really good suit. You've lost a little bit of the spring in your step. But I think all we need is leverage.
A little bit of leverage for Jesaulenko. Lupiote.
Oh, Jezza! What could go wrong? Nothing. No, that's not going to work. Not much height there.
No, it's time for plan B.
That's beautiful.
Mackay kicks it to the wing position. Oh, Jezza! Lupiote!
Hey, boys, oi.
Yes!
Nice grab.
Right now at Truscott's, you can buy any of these with no deposit, no interest for 48 months. You know how good Truscott's prices are. Well, now you also get 48 months, no deposit, no interest terms on a huge range at Truscott's.
Mobile everywhere. Now every Aussie can have a mobile phone that works no matter where they are in Australia. In town, in the out-of-range outback, or up to 500 nautical miles offshore. With Global Star's Mobile Everywhere, you get 2 phones in one, CDMA and satellite, with satellite calls from just 30 cents per 30 seconds. That's right, just 30 cents per 30 seconds. So get on the line to Global Star.
Yeah, mobile everywhere.
Get mobile everywhere.
Shell Unleaded's new fuel economy formula is designed to do one thing above all. Take you further.
Right now at Truscott's, you can buy any of these with no deposit, no interest for 48 months. You know how good Truscott's prices are. Well, now you also get 48 months, no deposit, no interest terms on a huge range at Truscott's.
Network 10 Adelaide would like to thank the support of their local sponsors. Stratco, what do you need today? Make it your way. Subway, eat fresh. Truscott's and TIAC, the plasma LCD and surround sound specialists. And Booze Brothers, proudly South Australian owned.
With the loftiness of those positions, with a settling glare upon the mission, and a stretching neck of recognition. When the light that is all about you.
Another scintillating opening term from the Adelaide Crows. 7-5-47, Carlton 1-1-7. The margin 40 points at the first change. Adelaide now in the opening term this season have kicked 43 goals to 16. They are dominating sides from the outset. Very impressive performance as we take a look at the numbers. Obviously the bottom line there stands out, 17-9, the inside 50s. They are just controlling the football in close at the moment, the Adelaide Crows. And doing a wonderful job as we head boundary side. Here's Richard Osborne.
Well, the good news for Carlton fans, if there is any good news to come out of the first quarter, is Brendan Favola is fine. Didn't get any medical attention in that first break. But the old theory of we've got nothing to lose, let's just go out there and all the pressure's on the Crows gets blown out the door very, very quickly when you're 7 goals down at quarter time. They just need to find a way of getting back into this game. It's all about having fun, and you know, why do we play this game of football, guys? We just have to manufacture something and enjoy it somehow.
Nothing too enjoyable about that open 30 minutes of football for the Blues, but they get their chance to atone in this second term.
Got to play 6 forwards, Carlton. I mean, the days of playing 2 forwards and letting the Crows run around the back half uncontested are over. Carlton have got to go back to 6 forwards and try and pinch a goal that way.
Adelaide by 40 points. Biglands gets first hands on the football again, but Wiggins picks it off to Bentic. Kick out into space for Simpson and Stevens to arrive first for the Blues. Under some pressure from Riley. Handball missed the body. Thompson goes in to force a contest. Bentic in there. Thompson dives on top of it. They could be holding the ball. It squirts out. Scotland gave it straight to McLeod. Quick little give, all in one motion. Doughty now to Goodwin. Pressure from Prendergast. Goodwin to 50. McGrath in best position for the Blues.
Mark Rasciuto for the second week in a row did not touch the footy in the first quarter. The only Crows player yet to touch the ball, and a little bit of a mistake as well that gets him 50 metres.
So McGrath calling for his teammates to spread. Open up. Use the space here at Amy Stadium. They haven't done it enough so far in this game. Whitnell, the target at centre-half forward, has been superb so far under enormous pressure. Handball inside 50. Coming through. Good slick hands to Whitnell. Got one over the top from Johncock. He'll get a free kick. They call advantage and Whitnell misses. Oh, that stings.
Yeah, knew he had advantage too, but Lance Whitnell looms as the dangerous player up forward. Just winning some good footy, and finally Carlton just kicked to a one-on-one contest. Good old-fashioned footy, and Lance looks in pretty reasonable nick. Not happy though.
Not happy, and every right to be too. In the ideal start for the Blues after a disappointing first term. Ball goes up the middle, Riley. Left half back. Fine young player he's turning out to be. Goes out wide. Rutten got the job on Favola. He's done a pretty good job thus far. And Favola yet to score a major. Rutten gets it back from Massey. They're waxing to Riley, to Rutten. Chain of handballs. Stevens, good pressure. Handballs down the line. Ball stays in for the moment. Burton goes back. Rutten starting to get a few possessions. They're cheap ones though. Bassett, more dangerous kick. McLeod calling a crisis and lopes away. Can link up with another cool customer in Johncock. Gets a Shepherd. Goes short. Down the line. Poorly directed. And Corey McGrath is doing a fine job, as Chris McDermott said.
Favola on centre wing has got a man fall to the ball. It's Murphy. He can go over the top to Lappin if he's quick. Hangs the kick up. Whitnell waits underneath it and marks just inside 50. Again thinking of giving it off to Favola. And he'll go even shorter than that to Lappin, who just snuck forward off that contest. Lappin's man drawn to stand the mark. And Matthew Lappin, a smart enough player to just sneak away over the back and present 25 out directly in front.
Yeah, well, it's all about Lance Whitnell at the moment too. He's the danger player. Scotty Stevens, his direct opponent, and just too big, too strong and too clever for Stevens. Great vision, finds Lappin, and need their second, Carlton. You've got a feeling that a couple of goals in this game can change quickly.
Lappin delivers. The Blues get their second.
Right, money, we're off. We'll see you at the party.
Yeah, no worries, fellas.
Bye.
I'll see you there.
Clever, fellas. Very clever.
I like a bloke who's man enough to wear pink. Come meet my friends.
Sure. Cheers for the fashion tip, fellas.
Classic.
16 minutes to get their first goal in the first quarter, the Carlton side. Now they've taken 15 minutes to get their second goal, but let's hope that's the start of a few more for the Blues faithful this afternoon. Shirley. Ball ends up with Goodwin. Releases Johncock. Heads towards the shadows of Amy Stadium. Nice mark. Trent Henschel. Biglands. Short. That's ignored. Instead goes to Riley. Off a step. Drills the pass to Rasciuto. Finally gets on the end of the kick. The Adelaide skipper. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Chris McDermott says he's sore. Loads up. kicks into the man on the mark, and there's 50-metre penalty given against Corey McGrath. I'd like to see the replay of that. Stephen Graham officiating on that particular occasion. Mark Rasciuto will go back and convert. No problems whatsoever from this distance. Or Angle will kick from directly in front. For his first this afternoon, he'll make amends, and the skipper gets his first.
You know what I love about Subway restaurants? Same thing you do. Great tasting food and lots of it. They've got tons of choices, so you can get something different every day. I'm gonna go check out what deal they have today. Now this is a deal worth walking all the way across town for.
The $3.50 daily special. Every day a different delicious, great tasting 6-inch Subway sub on fresh baked bread, fresh toasted and made the way you like it for just $3.50. 7 days, 7 great 6-inch subs, all for the one daily special price of just $3.50.
Subway. Eat fresh.
It's the margin 39 points, 5.5 minutes gone, second term at Amy Stadium.
Stings a bit, that one. Carlton were having a moment.
French and Biglands through the hands of Skipworth. Bentic, Prendergast, and now Scotland will get it forward for the Blues. Goes towards Lappin at 50, one-on-one with Massey. Over the back of the contest. Kennedy couldn't control it, John Cock could. He's got Lappin on his tail. Switches play and finds Scott Stevens. He can chip it over the top. Goodwin has to stand and wait. Collects his 12th touch, Simon Goodwin. Just continues to rack them up. Stevens to Skipworth. Through the middle. Guess who? Goodwin again. To Burton at half forward. Wants to play on an arc around onto his right boot. Kicks towards the top of the goal square. Henschel a chance. Punched away. Teague at the front to tidy up. McGregor puts it on his boot. Gives it to Matner. Throws it out wide towards Shirley. Wiggins trying to run him down. Forcing him towards the line. And now Stevens will look up and have absolutely nothing to kick it to. Working hard and well played from Josh Kennedy. It was a long, hard lead to give his teammates something to go to. Kennedy now uncertain of his options. Goes down the line, misses the target. Goodwin at the back, tidies up again. Houlihan comes in to tackle Massey, does not dispose of the football. Spills free. Crows still in control. Here's Thompson. Trots around the outer wing. Closes to 65. Comes inboard, gets run down by Kennedy. Good work from the big man. Wiggins. Houlihan. French. And French finds Wiggins on centre wing. Good endeavour from the Blues. Runs his full measure. Kicks to 50 for Vola with a couple to beat. Forced a punch at ground level. Biglands gets a handball pass. Whitnell to Stevens. And the Crows again can set up from the back through Bassett. Now to McLeod.
Go over the top to Biglands. Squares the ball up through the corridor to John Cock. McLeod just lopes along. Kick intended for Skipworth. Too much carry on the ball. Coming through was Dowdy. Handball only as far as Teague. Ball slews off the side of the boot. They're not out of trouble yet, the Blues. Thompson, good tackle. Bentic. He's got a loose player. Simpson can go. He's got plenty of space. Just needs to gather the ball. Favola goes to the pocket. Simpson with the bounce will load up from 51. It's a low trajectory kick. Will it get the distance? Yes, but not the accuracy. The right-hand side of the post deserved the goal, but on this occasion, not forthcoming.
Yeah, Scotty Thompson just having a horror patch for the Crows at the moment, getting plenty of footy over the last couple of weeks, but disposal letting him down.
Rutten short, and tidy to Shirley.
Got the feeling Carlton are back in this game, not on the scoreboard certainly, but in general play, getting enough of the ball. Needs somebody up forward. Favola's got to get himself into this game.
We've kicked 1-2 to 1 goal this quarter, the Blues. Here's Riley. Again, Kennedy doing a power of work on that outer wing, just trying to put some pressure on. McLeod links back with Riley. Can now set it up inside 50. Spears a kick to Henschel. That was an absolute sizzler. Beautiful kick from Brent Riley, and in many ways that's been the difference between the two sides. As Thompson, Chris, you just mentioned he's having a bit of a horror patch. He comes off for a spell, replaced by Bode.
Yeah, not getting any value out of his touches at all, Scotty Thompson. Getting taken off too quite regularly by Neil Craig, paying the price for some breaches of discipline. But you're right, Brent Riley playing some beautiful footy, hitting his targets, and Trent Henschel, a real handful up forward.
He's booted 2. He looks the forward most likely. For goal number 3, just fades. 2 goals, 2 to Trent Henschel. Adelaide 8-6, the Blues 2-3, the margin 39 points as we hit the 10-minute mark of the second term at Amy Stadium. There's Luke Livingston in the back pocket for the Blues. Again, a lot of static options, and that's the result. They have to pop the football up to clear the man directly in front of them. On that occasion, Thornton strong enough to hold his ground and take the mark. It's almost a full court press from the Crows at the moment, to use another basketball term. Bentic has it. Tucked inside the line. Now to Murphy, who's just come back on. Just no fluency in their game at the moment, the Blues. Adelaide shutting them down, going man on man when they don't have the football. So Murphy forced to kick long to the wing. Goes Prendergast, who's shown some glimpses this afternoon. Gets his chance after an extended period in the VFL. Bentic towards Favola, one out. He takes the grab. It's a wide open forward 50 if he wants to go now. He's going to set himself and kick from 55.
Yeah, finally gets Ben Rutten one-on-one. Brendan Favola, we said, needed to inject himself into this game. And again, Prendergast was the player, moved the ball quickly, took a risk for Carlton. Favola's safe hands. Distance won't be a problem. A question of accuracy, you would think.
He's kicked 30-21 for the season. His first kick for goal this afternoon. Or second if you count the other one that he didn't score with. And that one is out of bounds on the full.
Just got too close to the man on the mark on that occasion, Brendan Favola. Ben Rutten did it beautifully. Ball back in the hands of the Crows.
And John Cock. He'll kick it long. Skipworth the target, outsized by Koutafidis, and gives away the free kick as a result. Kouta pushed back into him. Skipworth wrapped his arms around, gave away the free kick. Murphy has got Houlihan outside. Will go inboard. The lead from Lappin jumped early. Simpson read the crumb, but that is a magnificent tackle from McLeod. Ball still in the massive players. Houlihan boot to ball quickly. Slick hands. Here's Johncock off half back. Has to stop and prop. Goes back to Goodwin. Sweeps a handball to Bode. Over the top to Henschel. Adelaide attack straight up the middle of Amy Stadium, and here's Rasciuto. On the overlap. Doughty from 40. Keeps it low and kicks it straight to Teague, who turned around, not sure where the football was, and it found him.
Could have kept going, Michael Doughty. Plenty of space. Prendergast across the face of goal. He's got Thornton out of sight of the ground. Wants an option, gets one. Wiggins can go over the top if he wants and if he's quick. Decides against that and heads to Murphy. Livingston. This is where the Adelaide Crows do a terrific job, Chris, by just making sure they control the tempo of the play, get numbers back. The Blues through Thornton, needs to be quick. Good chase, managed to get a toe on the ball. Ball's still alive for the moment. Van Berlo wants it. Not getting it. Brett Thornton, well, he's a bit confused out there.
Too much time for thought again, Wayne. And you're right with Carlton. Their reluctance to move the ball quickly is killing them.
Goodwin, terrific at ground level. Bode can go. Decides to unload from 55 to Burton. Plays on, open goal. The Birdman finally gets his first of the afternoon, but terrific.
People who know their numbers know now's the time to buy Toyota.
4x2.
4x2 Hilux single cab workmate. Now even better value at $19,920 with air, because Toyota means business.
It's back! LeCornu's most sensational interest-free offer ever! 48 months interest-free with absolutely no deposit, and no interest till 2010! No deposit and no interest for 4 whole years! Hurry, end soon, LeCornu!
Vintage Brett Burton.
8 possessions, 5 marks and 1 goal, 2 to Brett Burton. Back in the middle, Biglands again. Clean hands on the football. Doughty slides in and then dives in on top of it. He's wrapped up by Prendergast. Umpire lingers and says holding the ball. Prendergast gives it off to Murphy. High kick towards 50. Clears the contest. Lappin crunched by Bode. Spawn flicked out a handball looking for Stevens. Bode went back and got it. Johncock kept it alive. Stevens picked it up. Goes towards Kennedy, but over the top Rutten. He plays on to McLeod. Draws Whitnell towards him and now releases Rutten at defensive 50. Biglands the target. Beautiful kick. He read it well off the boot and took the mark.
How's that confidence of Rutten? Only 15 metres out just to go for the mark from behind. They're playing with so much confidence, the boys.
Biglands towards McGregor. He's 70 metres from goal. Lead to the pocket is Henschel. Just pitches in front of him. Ricochets out of bounds.
Just Carlton conceding the Crows. Good players, too much of the footy. Simon Goodwin, the man. We spoke about him in the pre-match. Career best form, 17 touches to this stage. Johncock and McLeod and Bassett both with, or all with 15, dominating this game.
Carlton's terrible record on the road continuing at the moment. It's going to need an almighty transformation for them to get back into this game. They trail by 45 points, 16 minutes gone in the second term. 9-6-60 to 2-3-15. Massive players around this contest. No ruckman take possession. Van Berlo, quick kick. Rashudo stuck the mid out. Couldn't quite hang on. McGrath towards the wing. Lappin will fly. Sandwiched between 2 Crows. At the back, keeping his feet was Stevens. Goodwin. 18th touch. Back to Stevens. Now Rutten. Goes towards centre half forward. Murphy read it well and took the mark. Can go over the top to Houlihan if he's quick. Ball hangs in the air. Houlihan stands underneath it.
Courage.
Gets himself a free kick. He's got men inside 50. He's got Prendergast. He hasn't seen him. Took a while to stand up and turn around. Prendergast versus McLeod. At ground level, you'd back McLeod. It's not going to get that far. It's a free kick. Over the shoulder in the contest. It's going the way of Ian Prendergast, who's been serviceable this afternoon. There's Houlihan getting crunched. Prendergast hoists it high. They'll contest 20 out. Whitnell shepherded off the ball. We'll get a free kick.
Prendergast doing it beautifully, as you said, Jace. He's been an important player for Carlton. Crowd not happy. Free kick was there. And once again, when Carlton moved the ball quickly, the Crows can be vulnerable. They can make mistakes. Whitnell gets shepherded off the ball. And, well, missed one today that he should have kicked. Surely wouldn't miss this one, Big Lance.
Hayden Kennedy spotted a tug of the jumper. And Lance Whitnell kicks the goal. Blues get their third.
Your wife called. She seems nice.
Fun meets functionality with a new Motorola Razr V3X.
Hello, Moto.
Well, you think if Brendan Favola can go in at half-time and get himself, impose himself on the game in that third quarter, Chris, they might stand some sort of chance of mounting a late charge with half a game of football left. Goodwin, 19th possession. Matner comes back inboard. Slick little handball to Bode. In turn to McLeod. Inside the square. Pumps it long. High ball! Burton got his hands on it. Couldn't take it down. Deserved the mark. Walker, last line of defence. Heads out the outer side of the ground. He's got Houlihan. Brett Burton, what a climb. He's already taken one this afternoon. Wiggins, good run, can go. It's around Goodwin. Squares the ball to Spawn. Arriving late was Van Berlo. Comes back inboard. Blackwood gives it off to Houlihan. Favola will fly. got his hands on the ball. Could have been a mark. No. Free kick paid. Well called. Brendan Favola. And we spoke about the importance of him to this Carlton side. Kicked all their goals last week. 4 goals, 5. The only other scorer in that dismal display was Simon Wiggins for his first of the afternoon. From 55, it's a thumping looking kick. That is a magnificent kick of the ball. Deserves a goal. Gets it.
Wedgedale might look like a normal Aussie town. It's anything but.
I'm Sandra Sultry with the Wedge local news.
8 o'clock Tuesday, this town is putting comedy back on the map.
I just want to send you this one thing for Valentine's Day.
Get ready to meet the Wedgies.
Let him get back to what he likes doing best. Yeah, okay.
And playing sport.
You'll love the Wedge. Premiering 8 o'clock Tuesday on 10.
I'll be back with Les in just a moment.
With a chance. It's one of the great sights in football when you see a player just roost one from 55 or 60, be it Brendan Favola or Anthony Rocker or Big Severio, even Mark Rasciuto for the Crows. See that football sailing through the air from distance, and the Blues back within 33 points. Thompson back on the ground. Quick kick towards half forward. Carlton with numbers there. Good attack on the ball from Andrew Walker. The Blues have just got to spread it wide and run. Create some space for themselves. When they've done that this afternoon, they've looked okay. Kick from Walker to Murphy. It's when they've been static and shut down by the Crows. That's when they've encountered their troubles. They need to take some risks, roll the dice here and there. Just run hard to support each other and create some options. French, here's the risky kick. Very risky kick. There's got to be a return on the end of the risk. And on that occasion, there just wasn't. Knights received from McLeod. That handball set up McGregor. Blues get another chance. Stevens. Handball missed the target, so he went back and cleaned it up himself. Kick to Koutafidis on centre wing. Didn't go short. Simpson stood and waited. Now puts the afterburners on from 55. Kick towards Whitnell or Favola at ground level. Stevens. Play on the call. Ball to the back. Lappin gathers inside the line. Turns. Snaps. Oh, what a great goal! Super goal from Lappin.
Some brothers are famous for big grabs. We're famous for big savings, with specials like any 2 bottles of Johnny Walker Red, Smirnoff Vodka or Cougar Bourbon for only $50. Choose from the Stanley 4-litre cask range, just $7.99 each. Or buy any 2 cartons of Carlton Draft or VB for $70 with 2 bonus long necks. Booze Brothers, we know booze.
Class finish from a class player. The Blues, they've kicked the last 3 goals as we head towards half-time in time on. Second term, 9-6, 6th the Adelaide Crows. They lead the Blues 5-3, 33. 4 goals in this second term for the Blues, and Scotland gets it moving forward. McLeod, good at ground level, just cruises away from half-back. Pops a high ball up in favour of Scott Thompson. Doesn't get a kind bounce. The Blues with numbers. French, Thornton, McGrath. Feign the kick, now handballs to Murphy, can go to Scotland, they're building again the Blues, switches the ball, good kick, finds Walker, takes it on the chest, needs to move it on quickly, Andrew Walker, Blackwell from inside the square, high ball, oh, flying behind the pack on that occasion was Kuda, terrific the skipper, will go back and line up for the 4th consecutive goal for the Blues.
Dennis Pagan's got it right up forward. Koutafidis, Whitnell, Favola, Lappin. Their gun players are inside attacking 50. Gives himself a chance to get a goal. Once again, Carlton move it quickly. Kick to a contest. Get the right result. Kuta's got to finish.
Finish it off. And he does.
Big Aussie Sixes have all been going the same way. Till now. Coming soon, a Big Six inspired not by touring cars, but by Formula One. Toyota Orion V6. Make your move.
We travel the world to bring you the delicious taste of Italy. The special edition Parmigiana Sub. Yum mia. Parmigiana combo, just $6.95. Taste the world at Red Rooster.
You have those talented players. Get it in quick before the Crows can get back.
21 points the margin. The Blues playing direct football. They are opening it up, using the space here at Amy Stadium, moving it quickly. French inside 50, Lappin with a couple to beat. Massey taken down. Carlton's endeavour really lifting. In over the top of it, will be holding the ball, but which way? It'll go Adelaide's way. Lappin outnumbered, dived on the football. Deemed not to be trying to get rid of it as Burton squares it up to Henschel. Crows just on the back foot at the moment. Shirley has to stand and wait, takes the mark. Carlton now playing one-on-one football all over the ground. Favola just lagged off the back of Bassett. And Bassett took the uncontested mark. They switch it up, under 2 minutes remaining. Henschel forces it wide to Burton. Now Massey's worked off his man. The Blues just have to be tight here. There's a mass of players huddled in the middle of the ground. McLeod breaks free. He's ignored. Back to Burton.
Vintage Crows this, they'll try and wind the clock down, maintain possession, keep the tempo.
Favola got it. Bassett went to ground. Now can Favola go back and roost it? He hasn't gone far enough off the mark. And he tried to kick a torp off a step.
Hangs his head, not smart, Brendan Favola. Had Whitnell on his own, just had to kick a drop punt. Undisciplined play, that was costly.
Gee, that would have been a real stinger.
Breaks your heart.
A minute to go until half-time. The Blues could have gone in at 15 points. Quite remarkable. The turnaround, given Adelaide were out to a 45-point lead as late as 17 minutes into the second term. Knights with Van Berlo. Now what the Blues want to do is not concede one. Adelaide are building. Goodwin inside 50. Teague versus Skipworth. Teague got it to ground. Skipworth kept it alive. Handball's off. That's where it stings. Rashuto hammers him. Oh, that really hurts. Rashuto gets his second. It's a 2-goal turnaround, and Adelaide look likely to go in 27 points up as opposed to 15.
Brendan Favola hands on head, and so they should. Lance Whitnell gives him a rip as well. Undisciplined, that breaks your heart. That cost you a game of footy. Dennis Pagan and the Carlton players would be filthy. And there's the result at the other end. Another Carlton turnover. Mark Rashuto. Second kick, second goal. Ouch.
Ouch is the word. It's been an impressive fight back for the Blues. Would have been all the more impressive if Brendan Favola had have made better use of that ball, but goes up the other end and Mark Rashuto capitalises. Murphy got a boot on the ball. The Blues, this is where they've improved around the centre clearances, and Simpson can go. Has a bounce, now loads up, kick. Centering ball, had too much carry for Wiggins with 7 seconds on the clock and taking the mark. Is Matthew Lappin, as the clock will wind down to half time. Siren sounds for half time here at Amy Stadium. Matthew Lappin has kicked a wonderful goal in this second term. He's actually kicked 2 in the second quarter and lines up for goal number 3, and an important kick in the context of this game for number 3, and goal number 7 for Carlton. Matthew Lappin has got it.
Vital kick after the siren. That just gets that other goal back, and look at the spirit in the Carlton camp at the moment. They come together off the bench. 4 players straight off the bench charging into that huddle. There is some belief there. Their best second term for the season. Great performance from the Blues in that second quarter when things are running against them. I mentioned they were out to a 45-point deficit as late as 17 3/4 minutes in the term. And Matthew Lappin kicks a goal after the half-time siren, rather. They kicked 5 goals in 11 minutes, the Blues. The margin at half-time, 21 points. Adelaide 10-6-66. Carlton 7-3-45 on Saturday afternoon football.
The 2006 Toyota AFL Premiership season. Proudly brought to you by our broadcast partners. Toyota. Footy. Oh, what a feeling. Harvey Norman. There's a store near you. Carlton Draft. The beer behind footy. And Pedigree. We're for dogs.
We travel the world to bring you the delicious taste of Italy. The special edition Parmigiana Sub. Yumma mia. Parmigiana combo. Just $6.95. Taste the world at Red Rooster.
Hi, Trish. Looking for something bigger?
Yeah, if we can afford it.
Maybe we should have a chat.
Well, that'd be good. What now?
Sure, why not?
That's another example of the wizard why not attitude. The local wizard manager who runs the branch owns the branch. At Wizard you'll find we say, why not?
There's no feeling like M3 Power. Press the button and feel the power. Introducing M3 Power Nitro. Gillette M3 Power with a bold new look. Turn it on, nothing shaves better. M3 Power Nitro from Gillette.
A solid performance from you today. Yeah, thanks. Well, footy's all about possessions, and I was lucky enough to get a touch. Even had a kick. Great effort. Thanks, mate.
A 6-speed auto on the all-wheel drive, dynamic stability control, and AccuTrack for car-like handling.
Nice read. Yep.
With Ford Territory, you'll never feel like you're driving a truck.
Hi there, can I help you?
I need something that cuts grass. Rough grass, and grass around sand, and branches!
I've got just the thing.
Pick up the new Stihl Yard Boss. One tool does 7 jobs from $769.
We're for the ruck, the rover, the full forward, and the full back. At Pedigree, we're for footy. And together with NAB AFL Auskick, you could be the Pedigree Natural Footy Star. You'll have the chance to attend the 2006 Toyota AFL Grand Final, play on the MCG at halftime, and much more. Visit aflauskick.com.au to see how you could win.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Thy angels watch me through the night and keep me safe till morning light.
8:40 Monday on the best supernatural yet.
Dad sent us down here for a reason. He wants us to finish the job.
What happens when the one person who can help them
You want to use the kid as bait?
has this much attitude?
King or 2 queens?
2 queens.
Yeah, I bet.
New Supernatural, 8:40 Monday.
News with George Danikian.
Good evening. Welcome to this special halftime bulletin. We'll go back to the football shortly. But first tonight, Australian troops have managed to take control of important sites in East Timor as violence escalates on the streets of Dili.
The culprits of the dangerous rampage on the streets of Dili, young men, torching dozens of homes and anything else that will burn, leaving the suburbs in ruins. Armed with machetes and spears, they march the streets, smashing as they go, even targeting soldiers' houses. Fearing for their lives, locals are fleeing. It's despite Australian soldiers beginning patrols, with the priority on key locations and a meeting with the rebel leader, Major Alfredo Renardo.
We've taken steps to secure the police headquarters. We've taken steps to secure the government buildings so that the government can go about its business free from the thought of attack, and we've secured the UN compound.
Our contingent on the ground has reached 600, but will rise to 1,300 by early tomorrow, supported by other foreign forces.
But I can assure you that the guys who are here on the ground have very robust rules of engagement, and they will not be in any way restrained from completing their mission by the rules we go with.
Scared locals are turning to embassies, including Australia's, for refuge. But reports are emerging of badly injured civilians who've been unable to reach safety. Aid agencies believe thousands have been displaced by the violence. Nicole Strawn, 10 News.
The death toll from an Indonesian earthquake has soared over 400. The early morning quake shook the area around an ancient royal city at a magnitude of 6.2. Many houses have collapsed and thousands have fled their homes, fearing a tsunami. It's also triggered heightened activity in a nearby volcano. A Felixstowe man has been arrested at Paravista after a shooting at Kilburn. A man in his 30s was shot 3 times in the leg during what neighbours say was a dispute over drugs. Locals fed up with high levels of crime and violence in the area.
This is one of the worst areas in South Australia as far as crime is concerned. Every day of the week it happens.
This is Kilburn's pretty ripe for drugs around here, I think. Like generally Kilburn, you know.
Charges are expected to be laid. The Australian climber, originally reported dead on Mount Everest, has just walked into the advanced base camp. Lincoln Hall had been left for dead on the mountain, but the 50-year-old was then found and revived.
He's in a very fragile state. He's seriously ill, but it's much better than it was this time yesterday.
He's being cared for at the camp. Well, a simple marketing concept conceived in Adelaide could be the key to solving the nation's skill shortage. The idea is already gaining support from all sides of politics.
Training young workers is a cost many companies bear with little reward or recognition. But one politician has come up with a cheap way to give businesses further incentive.
What I'd like to see is the government develop a easy identifiable logo that businesses that train staff, train apprentices can use as a marketing tool.
Similar to the Australian Made campaign of the 80s, the training and apprenticeship insignia could be used on advertising and at a business's point of sale.
Australians believe in a fair go, and if they're given the tools to be able to identify those companies, they will use them.
The federal government has its own ideas on how to stem the skills shortage. The Immigration Minister today using a careers expo to launch a campaign to lure overseas workers to fill jobs.
Migration's not a substitute for training, never will be. But what it can do is bring in the people you need very quickly.
She also welcomed the concept of an Australian-trained logo.
Now, I'd be prepared, for example, to change my shopping patterns if I thought that someone was doing a better job in training Australians than someone else.
Emily Rice, 10 News.
Day's sporting highlights up next in our half-time bulletin before we return to the footy, and it includes the AFL border battle for bragging rights.
Is going to stay with you for the rest of your life.
I was a bit worried what my mum was going to be thinking.
What did Mum say when you finally bumped into her?
She said, I'm proud of you. You're yourself.
I love you, you little mole.
Yeah.
Rove Live, Tuesday.
Toyota and RPM are giving you the chance to win the ultimate Formula One experience. VIP passes to the German Grand Prix, plus you get to drive a Formula One car, all valued at nearly $50,000. Log on to rpmlive.tv now to enter.
A number of things can go wrong in life, so it's reassuring to know that a call to one number will set your mind at rest. Don't discover our benefits by accident. Call 133-QBE.
These guys look like they need a bit of a lift to keep them going, so I've prepared a little something with a few things I found around the place. So we've got some prawns on the go in here.
Where'd that bait get to, Pete? Put out in the sun to thaw out yesterday.
Ooh. Actually, the best way to fill blokes up is with a bit of this. Let's just let go of that.
Campbell's, the experts in soup.
That is, good. Just don't touch that. How's the fishing? Still nothing?
There's no feeling like M3 Power. Press the button and feel the power. Introducing M3 Power Nitro. Gillette M3 Power with a bold new look. Turn it on, nothing shaves better. M3 Power Nitro from Gillette.
enjoy 17 lighter choices, each with less than 10 grams of fat per serve, including 3 delicious deli rolls, 2 tasty salads, and a mouth-watering lean beef burger. There's never been a better time to discover the wonderful world of lighter choices at McDonald's.
Hi there, can I help you?
I need something that cuts grass. Rough grass, grass around sand and... Branches!
I've got just the thing.
Pick up the new Stihl Yard Boss. One tool does 7 jobs from $769.
Rove, have you noticed more and more people wearing glasses?
Yeah! You can always trust Rove to put on a good spectacle.
Could I try them on? Ooh-wee! Child, you as blind as a bat, ain't you?
You gotta see Rove Tuesday.
To breaking news, and police have announced a nationwide recall of all Top Taste food products following a deliberate contamination. Razor blades and needles found in the company's cakes. Let's go to sport, and the SANFL has secured bragging rights as the second best Aussie rules competition in Australia. The Crow Eaters managed a 17-point win over Western Australia last night.
There was no holding back with state pride on the line, early pressure unsettling the locals. Sandgropers skipper Anthony Jones leading by example.
Bounce, bounce, goal!
The home side managed just one major in the first before Daniel Shell went to work.
This will lift the crowd.
Trailing by 4 at half-time, the Crow Eaters finally gelled in the third, nailing 2 goals in the opening 2 minutes. But it wasn't all pretty, Stephen Eichener dislocating his knee. Luck on the Sandgropers' side as they fought desperately to stay in the contest.
Freakish goal there by Jones.
Despite some magic from Waffle star Alastair Pickett, South Australia's best charged home for a convincing win.
Goal, game to South Australia.
Daniel Shell, the SANFL's finest, with 6 goals. Nicky Barnett, 10 News.
Worsening injury woes for the Western Bulldogs after last night's loss to Collingwood. Robert Murphy suffered a season-ending injury, and Daniel Giansiracusa will miss 3 weeks.
The morning after a dog of a night, Robert Murphy was still coming to terms with his season-ending injury.
Immediately it was sort of, a bit of shock and didn't really think too much about it, but the dust is still probably settling a little bit on it, so the season's over.
The key forward's knee wrecked after an Anthony Rocker tackle midway through the second quarter.
A big tackle on Murphy, dump him head first.
Murphy is the 4th Bulldog to do a knee this season, and they also added Daniel Giansiracusa to their growing injury list. He'll miss the next 3 with a hamstring. While Collingwood's 34-point win has them sharing the top of the table for the moment, Mick Malthouse was lukewarm about his Pies.
Certainly wasn't our best game by a long shot. I still believe that today there are a few passengers, which has been pretty rare in the last few weeks.
Collingwood's other concern, a wild backhand from Chris Tarrant, which could prove costly. David Adamson, 10 News.
The Adelaide Thunderbirds remain on top of the National Netball League ladder. Despite an early struggle against Queensland last night, they won by 12 goals. Brief weather, and it's been a perfect autumn day in Adelaide. After a low of 5.9, we reached 17.7. It should be mainly fine tomorrow, a top of 16 degrees. That's the 10 News for the moment. Stay with us as we prepare to cross back to Amy Stadium for the second half of the Crows-Carlton clash. Good night.
7:30 Wednesday on 10. You'll never guess what's waiting behind the door.
You better do some fast talking.
Solemn silence in the Dull Dark and a pistol.
Expect absolutely anything with guest stars Fifi Box and Bob Franklin.
Yes.
Plus Hamish Blake and Peter Rosethorn. You'll never guess what's behind the door.
A brand new Thank God You're Here. 7:30 Wednesday.
In 1966, England went wild when their team won the World Cup. In 1986, it was Argentina's turn. Now, in 2006, Australia wins. Thanks to Hyundai World Cup Fever. Score with World Cup-worthy deals on a range of new Hyundais. Save thousands with special offers and World Cup editions. So start celebrating Australia. See your Hyundai dealer today and save. Official partner of the 2006 FIFA World Cup.
These guys look like they need a bit of a lift to keep them going, so I've prepared a little something with a few things I found around the place. So we've got some prawns on the go in here.
Where'd that bait get to, Pete? Put out in the sun to thaw out yesterday.
Ooh. Actually, the best way to fill blokes up is with a bit of this. Let's just let go of that.
Campbell's, the experts in soup.
That is, good. Just don't touch that. How's the fishing? Still nothing?
You're hooked up, mate! You're on! There are some things you just wouldn't miss, like Falcon SR for only 32 888 drive away with $7,000 worth of special extras. There's alloy wheels, sports suspension and sports trim and lots more for a very special 32 888 drive away, but only for a limited time at participating Ford dealers.
Enjoy 17 lighter choices, each with less than 10 grams of fat per serve, including 3 delicious deli rolls, 2 tasty salads, and a mouth-watering lean beef burger. There's never been a better time to discover the wonderful world of lighter choices at McDonald's.
The 2006 Toyota AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by our broadcast partners. Toyota. Footy, oh what a feeling. Bundaberg Rum, classic. And Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
Half-time at Amy Stadium, the Blues back out on the ground and ready to go. They trail by 21 points, having trailed by 45 at the 17 3/4 minute mark of the term, and amazingly kicked 5 goals in 10 minutes. Their challenge now, Chris McDermott, Wayne Schwass, is to maintain that momentum, get up and going again early in this third term.
And what they've been able to do too is find some holes in the Crows' defence. It doesn't happen very often, but no Ben Hart, no Nathan Bock. Their defence is vulnerable. Dennis Pagan put his stars up forward for the latter part of that second quarter, and it paid big time.
Let's head boundary side to Richard Osborne and Aussie. Just that energy level for the Blues in that last 10 minutes, and particularly after that Matthew Lappin goal, was pretty impressive.
Yeah, they certainly went to that half-time break with some momentum. You mentioned the energy levels. The energy levels I'm a little bit confused about here at Amy Stadium is the lights. It's a bright blue sky, not a cloud in the sky. It's really bright, and they've got the lights on. So obviously the Crows got money to burn. But on a serious note, the Blues, they really should be proud of what they did in that last 10 minutes. They're certainly in this game, boys.
Interesting to see, boys. Lance Whitnell's gone into defence. Carlton playing a 7-man defence, a 5-man forward line. That hurt him in the first quarter. Surprising to see Dennis Pagan do it. Looks like they're in damage control at the start of this third quarter, expecting the Crows to come out hard.
Yeah, maybe just looking to shore up the wall so they don't get blown away early in the third term. As we started at Amy Stadium, anticipation around the ground at the moment of a real contest. Goodwin's kick partly smothered. Blues need a good start to just maintain that run of momentum. Scotland, Koutafidis, quick little give to Walker, who takes his man on, gains an extra 10 metres, kicks to half forward, Lappin makes a contest, it spills to Houlihan, Favola one out inside 50, Johncock, wrapped up by Favola, got into his back, free kick to Graham Johncock. Favola's eyes lit up, he saw he had a chance to pounce, but just carried him forward in the tackle, and will give away a free kick downfield for the nudge after he'd kicked it.
You can see what he's trying to do. Brendan Favola obviously got a rocket at half-time for what he did later in that second quarter. A little overzealous, you might say.
Doughty to Bassett. This is where the Blues need to be vigilant. Riley puts it out in front of Rashudo, and the skipper marks 65 from home. Plenty of numbers inside 50. This is where Carlton need to hang on and just turn these first couple of attacks around. Rashudo, low trajectory, plenty of distance. Wonderful kick.
Right, Money, we're off. We'll see you at the party.
Yeah, no worries, fellas.
Bye.
I'll see you there. Clever, fellas. Very clever.
I like a bloke who's man enough to wear pink. Come meet my friends.
Sure. Cheers for the fashion tip, fellas.
Classic.
Not much wrong with this one. Kicked the most goals of any Adelaide Crows player this year. Season tally of 24 goals, 13. It's the all-important first goal of this third quarter for the Adelaide Crows. Just over a minute gone. Biglands to Thompson. Van Berlo, one-handed grab, terrific from the young man. They go forward again, the Crows. Bouncing ball, McGregor. Loose ball, Skipworth. Teague with a good tackle. Livingston over the top of Stevens, working on his hands and knees, could be holding the ball. And he's right on the spot there, umpire Hayden Kennedy. Can't do that in the modern game. Scotland goes to Livingston. Across the face of goal finds Prendergast, leading possession winner for Carlton. 14 first half possessions. Heads up the middle, Koutafidis. It's around Mark Bashuto, Wiggins. Wants it back, Kuta, and go to Murphy. Links up, you need to be quick, Mark, look out. Nearly ran himself into trouble. Wiggins, one way, then the other, goes to Scotland. Important kick. It's a good switch. He's got Walker. Stevens breaks. That's where he heads. He's got some time, Nick Stevens. Couldn't take the mark. Has got time to gather the loose ball. Onto his wrong side of his body. Good running from Simpson. He runs with the flight of the ball and takes a mark. Needs to go to Favola quickly. He's one out with Rutten. Now he's held up too slow, you'd think. Allows Carlton to get numbers back, one of which is Bassett. Instead goes short. It's a good kick, finds Prendergast. He will go back, you'd think, and line up for goal. He'll kick from just outside 50. Possession number 16. From 52 metres. Won't make the distance. It's an ugly looking kick to the top of the square, and the Crows players set through for a rush behind.
Just keep your eyes on Mark Bashuto, folks. When Koutafidis changed direction, Bashuto had to change direction to try and tackle him. He's just pulled up a bit gingerly from that.
Yeah, he went to ground, didn't he, Ozzy, as he just couldn't quite get purchase on the turf. We'll keep an eye on him. Here's Riley from defensive 50, going to get run down. Gee, it's a big 5 or 10 minutes in the game now. If the Blues can stand up and not get swamped, they'll give themselves a chance. But here go the Crows through Henschel to Shirley. Inside 50, or just outside, in fact, to Rashudo again. Maybe just beyond him from here. He's got Burton inside 50 by himself. Scotland's going to have to go. Oh, can't get there. And Burton now from just outside 50.
Pretty good side in footy, Brett Burton at full flight with his hands. Just in good nick, good physical condition, Brett Burton. Playing some great footy. And this one again hurts the Blues.
Stuttering approach from just outside 50. Tugs it left. 1 goal 3 to Burton. The Blues hanging on. It's 27 points the margin. They need an early goal themselves just to re-establish that momentum and belief. They've been competitive around the ground since quarter time. It was only late in the second term that they started to put it on the scoreboard, and that's what they can't do. That's how they got 40 points down. Soft turnovers. Teague tries to make amends for it. Advantage paid. Thompson slams it shut on them.
Where for the ruck, the rover, the full forward and the full back. At Pedigree, we're for footy. And together with NAB AFL Auskick, you could be the Pedigree Natural Footy Star. You'll have the chance to attend the 2006 Toyota AFL Grand Final, play on the MCG at halftime, and much more. Visit aflauskick.com.au to see how you could win.
Nails it. Well, they're the best ranked side in the AFL this year for goals inside the opening 5 minutes of each term. They've kicked 13. We're off to a flyer again, the Adelaide Crows. The first 2, third term, Prendergast. Not without it. Umpiring, allowed to go on. Thompson, the goal scorer, to Goodwin. What a first half of football he had. Van Berlo's been busy early and wins himself a free kick. 6 possessions coming up for number 7. Camped inside the centre square. Nathan Van Berlo. It's long. Burton will fly. Went too early. Bouncing ball, McGregor. Gets it to Skipworth. Onto his wrong side. Centering kick. It's a good one too. Dowdy. Well, you spoke about this, Jason and Chris, coming back from half-time. It's a very important stanza, these first 5 minutes of the third term, and by this, looks as though the floodgates may open very quickly. Yeah, you're right. And so many times we've seen the Crows go in at half-time just out of sorts. Neil Craig addresses the problems. They respond. They've certainly done it today at Amy. Michael Dowdy. A beautiful kick for goal traditionally. That's not his tradition. No. Should be marked. Play on's a call. McGregor got his hands to the ball. Got to take some risks, Carlton. It's back to that style of play that hurt them in the first quarter. Got to take some risks or this game will get out of reach.
Balls with Teague. Probably feels like a house brick after that last kick. Has to spot up a target. That one's tidier. Mark's taken by Simpson at defensive 50. They trail by 35 points, the Blues, but as we've already seen today, they can slam on goals in a hurry. First thing they've got to do is just generate some momentum themselves, and deja vu all over again. Burton will have to be brought back to kick it over the mark. It's deflating, isn't it, from a Carlton perspective, when you see your teammates spray it like that and give the ball back.
But if you can't kick short, don't do it. I mean, Carlton have got to go back to that long kicking style.
Walker flies over the top, thumps it to the line.
Yeah, spot on, Chris. If you don't have the confidence to hit a target short, if you're going to turn the ball over, at least kick it 50 to 60 metres so it's out of the danger zone.
35 points the margin. Biglan's at the back, tries to get it to Dowdy, did it beautifully. Now, Rasciuto through Thompson to Goodwin from 55, winds up, gives it everything. Just the wrong side of the post. Great ruck work there again. Beautiful clearance from the Crows, and Lance Whitnell looking for the quick restart. Goes short to the back pocket. The Blues having some trouble clearing their defensive zone early in this third term.
The skipper, Anthony Koutafidis, deep in defence. Bereft of options, now called to play on. McGregor standing the mark, so Koutafidis goes long, but straight down the throat of McLeod. The Rolls Royce will load up from 52 metres. It's a centering ball. Livingston does the flying. Rasciuto, great tackle though, Corey McGrath. Looked dangerous there, Mark Rasciuto.
The Blues have regressed, Chris. The two things that got them back in the game was hard run and movement to create space and options and hitting targets, and they're the two things that they've gone out the window again in the third.
Free kick to Corey McGrath. You're right. He perhaps should have got the first one because that was dropping the ball according to my interpretations of the law. Simpson is away from his defensive goal square. It's his left boot. Dangerous kick. Henschel flew. Favola a long way from home. Can have a bounce. Well, Prendergast allowed Goodwin just to run past without shepherding. Fev with 3 bounces. Centering ball. John Cock will fly and steals it like a thief in the night. Looks up. Will link up with Rutten. Heads down the line towards Burton. Not watching it. Doesn't matter. Falls into his arms. Burton loads up. It's coming back. It's coming back. But McGrath makes sure it's a rush behind.
He was neither here nor there, Prendergast, then. He didn't lay a shepherd and he didn't create an option.
Yeah, no, but Brendan Favola had a brain fade as well. Just had to take them on, go long. Carlton too cute on occasions. Have got to get back to that long kicking style. And he comes from the ground, Prendergast, pays the price. Carlton need a hero at the moment.
Simpson tucks it under the arm. Looks to create. French against Biglan's. Fisted to the front. Henschel can't keep it alive. We'll have a throw in. 37 points the margin, 11 minutes gone, third term. Adelaide come out, added 2 goals, 4. The Blues have not scored. French got it to the front. Here's Goodwin, wrapped up by Spawn. Ball still there. Simpson in over the top, no chance of getting rid of that. We'll have another bounce.
Get the feeling Carlton just need a spark from one of their stars. Whitnell, Koutafidis. Favola. Bit of magic. Need a spark. Come out in the start of this third quarter very flat.
It's got to be the senior core, doesn't it? The likes of Lappin and Stevens as well to that mix. That half dozen players, that's where it's got to come from. When they get up and going, the others, the youngsters, fall into line. Here's Murphy to Stevens. One of the men we were speaking about. Can link up with Wiggins at half forward. Needs a kind bounce and gets one. Here's Lappin on the overlap from 65. Kicks towards the goal square. Favola stretches. Can't hang on. And that watertight Adelaide defence stands tall again. Shirley to John Cock. Kick was poor. Can Lappin make them pay? Goes deep again. A 3-on-2 in the air at ground level. Murphy against John Cock. Ball finds the line. Carlton with another chance. It's 5 metres around from their behind post. Carlton's endeavour's been good all afternoon. It's just their execution which has ebbed and flowed. Can they manufacture something from the stoppage here? French paddles into the path of Spawn, trying to get the hands free. Ball squirts out. Here's a chance. Simpson. Murphy.
Free kick.
Free kick. It's coming back for the push after Simpson got rid of the football. The kick from Murphy hit the post. Simpson will get a chance from 20 metres out, slight angle.
Well, maybe not the veterans, maybe the kids are the ones for Carlton who have got to stand up. Simpson's been good, had some good moments in this third quarter. Murphy's around the place as well. If there's ever a must-kick goal in footy, this is one. Lead nearly out of reach for Carlton.
Simpson showed some good endeavour today. And that's tidy. The Blues get one back. They're still alive at AAMI Stadium.
Do it yourself and save at Stratco. 100-watt heated towel rail, just $44.95. 4-light bathroom heater, hot value, $89.95. 11-fin oil heater, only $119, with a bonus 9-fin heater. Cambrook electric blankets from a low $29.95. And Corona kerosene heater, only $229.
What you need today.
Just a sniff for Carlton.
It's a faint one, but nonetheless, they're still alive. 31 points the margin. As we saw in that second term, they've aimed on 5 goals in 10 minutes. So they're capable of it. Brett Biglands, we've grown accustomed to the other man there, to his left, or our right, Charlie Walsh. Bounce down. Inside the centre circle, Clark and French. Clark somehow came out with the ball. Now it's French's turn. Shirley tackled him. Big pack of players. Ball spills free. Dowdy in the direction of Burton. Too much on him. Whitnell did well to Scotland. Can he get around the lunging Shirley tackle? Yes, he can, but the handball's not a good one. Lance goes again. Wiggins to Walker. The Blues, they'll link up. Whitnell gets it back. Good running from the Carlton number 8. High ball. Camping underneath it. Lappin plays on from 49. Matthew Lappin. Will it come back? No, it won't. Won't make the distance. Last line of defence. Rutten. He can go. This man here has been everywhere this afternoon. Goodwin. Possession number 24 coming up.
Chance to set it up from half back. Can go inboard to Massey. He's got a runner through the middle. It's Clark. Will look further afield. Unattended in the corridor is Shirley. He's got Dowdy on the outer wing. They bring it inboard instead to McLeod. Tumbles a kick to 50. Stevens didn't go at it. Thompson did. Goodwin off a step. Sprays it wide. Livingston taken to the line by Burton. Umpire says throw it in as Houlihan comes off for a spell to be replaced by Luke Blackwell, the second gamer, son of Wayne. Former Carlton star, played 110 games from 1984 to 1990. Off the hands of McLaren to Stevens. Farms it back. Koutafidis. Bentic. Great gather from Walker. He has got some class, this kid. And that just about fixed him. Tell you what, our form's pretty good today, Chris. Every time we've stood the mark, we've made sure the blokes kicked it out on the full. We've pumped Walker up.
Oh, dear, you gotta laugh, don't you?
What can you do? Well, Carlton fans will be saying, for goodness sake, shut the hell up. McLaren. Through Stevens. Scotland the fend off on Thompson. Now Nick Stevens again. Bentic Stood and waited. Doughty attacked it. Through Scotland to Thompson. Tries to get round on the right. Shirley's under pressure. Simpson came in. He wraps up Bode. Teague comes in as well. Good pressure from the Blues. They were hanging on by their fingertips.
The pressure has been great since quarter time. Carlton been a feature there tackling. Not sided in the first quarter when the Crows dominated. So good since quarter time. That's got them back in this contest, and they need more moments like that.
Deep in the pocket. Clark flips it to a dangerous spot. Van Berlo couldn't control it. Bode wrapped up by Teague. It spills to Riley. Kicks to a dangerous spot at the top of the square. Burton arrives late. Fisted through for a minor score.
You see Brett Burton line himself up for a big fly, and you're just hoping he just goes for it, but not on that occasion. Simpson to Bentic. Right back pocket. The young man heads long to Prendergast. He's worked tirelessly for the Blues all day. Lappin trying to inspire his side to Scotland. Murphy. Lappin will get it back. Good running. Straight up the middle of the ground to Favola. He's got a vacant goal square. Keen to move it on. Whitnell went towards the goal square. Kick was good, but Stevens on his hands and knees. The Crows' defence standing steadfast. Goodwin. Well, that was a little bit too easy. Heads out, the outer side of the ground, and Doughty can go in the sunshine. Heads up, into the shadows, finds Bo. Oh, here we go. Nice build-up. Andrew McLeod to a vacant goal square. Bouncing ball. What will Kenny do? Grab it, kick a goal.
Wednesday on 10.
Shut up! Frequency of your voice is grating.
We all know House is capable of some pretty kooky stuff.
Obviously, I was doing something illegal.
But once pushed him to the edge, House at 8:30 and at 9:30, brand new NCIS.
This is me, Matt.
Two of your favourite agents are trapped. Is this the end?
We could die here.
Or just the start? House and NCIS from 8:30 Wednesday.
Adelaide respond. Carlton lift their tempo and Adelaide respond accordingly. Margin back out to 38 points. Approaching the 19-minute mark of the third term. Thompson clears it out of the middle. Teague versus Bode. Awkward bounce for the Blue. But he's got some support. It's Simpson. Can go to the wing. He's got a man in space. Stevens moves it on quickly to Whitnell at forward 50. One-on-one with Stevens. That's Scott Stevens. It's punched away to McLeod. Creative off half-back again this afternoon. Thompson steps inside Nick Stevens, gives it to Bassett. Has a bounce. He's got a man forward of the football. Doughty inside 50. Henschel in position. Burton going back was held. Advantage paid goal. Burton gets his second.
If you don't know much about DIY, having a bit of trouble, come down to Bunnings and see some of our friendly faces and we'll help you out. There are a lot of people here that know what they're talking about.
Rose collection, only $5.95 each. Black & Decker cordless blower, $89. 12-litre Wattle ID paint, $135. 5-fin column oil heater, $29.98. Structural pine, just $1.90 per metre.
So, come on down.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Heavy price.
Well, he's got his work cut out this afternoon, Dennis Pagan, and his able Lieutenant Tony Elshaw there, but they absorbed the punishment that came in that second term from Carlton with 5 goals. And they piled on 4 in this third term themselves, the Adelaide Crows. McLaren ridden into the ground, Shirley over the top, and we will go again.
For a game where there's 44 points of difference, it's actually been played at a really frenetic pace, isn't it? It's quite a competitive contest around the ground. It's just the finishing that's been the difference.
41,157 people have come to Amy Stadium to see third place 13. That's a terrific turnout. Bassett, good tackle on that occasion from Lappin, playing some inspired football. Matthew Lappin ties it up, will have a bounce. 51 metres from the Carlton goal. They trail 8-3-51. The Adelaide Crows 14-11-95. A lot of players around the ball up. Skipworth, high ball. Crows with the numbers. Favours Murphy. Got a kind bounce. Goes back to Scotland. High ball now. Andrew McLeod just stood, waited, composed and goes.
Simon Wiggins appealing for a free kick for shepherding. Nothing doing as John Cock comes away, gives it to Knights. Steps inside Scotland. Murphy works hard to try and run him down. Knights goes inside 50. It's a one-on-one. Henschel almost. Did Livingston have a piece of his jumper? Was he taken high? Yes, he was. Free kick, Trent Henschel against Corey McGrath.
Smart player, Trent Henschel. Very, very smart player. Free kick there from the start. Henschel keeps the ball in his area, wins the second free kick as well. Keep your eye on this kid, number 37 for Adelaide. Just starting to see something very special.
Can only assume that Henschel had Livingston's jumper and Livingston had Henschel's, and maybe the umpire saw that they were both holding each other and just called play on.
I know nothing.
Either that or he was unsighted, because you could certainly see the jumpers going. But would be the right call if they're both hanging on to each other. Here's Henschel from the pocket. Pops it up. Just poked it a little. And misses to the far side. 2-3 to Trent Henschel. Quick restart from the Blues. Find its way to Lappin. He's been a spark for them this afternoon. They need something now. Prendergast. Just lost a bit of that fluency from their game again that was so evident late in the second term, where they had players prepared to run hard, to create and to break the lines. They've gone back to being a bit static and stagnant.
They came out with a defensive mindset, couldn't work it out, had momentum going into half-time, start the third quarter with Whitnell in defence, but send a message through the team. It's all about defence, and they paid a heavy price in this third quarter.
Well, they've lost their last 5 third terms, Chris, so maybe that had something to do with the mindset. It was almost like they were conceding early, weren't they, that the Adelaide Crows are going to come out and throw everything at them. And sure enough, it was a...
they were right.
It was a self-fulfilling prophecy in some ways. Van Berlo called now to play on. Goes to 50, Bode in best position.
Oh, it's terrible.
He's got a man by himself in the goal square. Thompson just has to stand and wait. Stevens gives away the obvious free kick. Henschel gets the advantage goal. He's got 3.
People who know their numbers know now's the time to buy Toyota. 4-wheel drive Prado GXL petrol or turbo diesel, just $49,990 with air, while Toyota means business.
Mobile everywhere.
For my money, Global Star's Mobile Everywhere is amazing. It's 2 phones in one, CDMA and satellite, with satellite calls from just 30 cents per 30 seconds.
Yeah, Mobile Everywhere.
Get online to Global Star.
Well, the number on Scott Thompson's back signifies the goals that the Crows have kicked in this third term. And if their run doesn't tire the opposition out, it's their pressure and their ability to capitalise. The Blues go forward. Lappin couldn't take clean possession. Goes again. Wiggins is in there. Lappin goes again. Has another try. Toe pokes the ball. Ricochets off for Fowler's knee. Murphy, one way, then the other. Oh, but getting a hand in there was Rutten. And the Crows, don't you love them running out of half back like this? And the ball now in the hands of McLeod. Looks up, heads down the line. Kick towards Henschel. Good spoil, Livingston. Murphy fired a handball out. Intended for Simpson. He had time to gather it again. Now goes to Benty. To Scotland. Looks up. Now has to go across the field, further away from goal. Finally finds the ball into the arms of Nick Stevens.
Lappin offers short, will go longer than that. Whitnell versus Scott Stevens. They're just waiting at the bottom for the crumb was Doughty. Links up well with Stevens, now Bode off half-back. Looks up, can go short to McGregor, who offers. And here's Matner. Takes Thornton on by foot. Inside 50, what a grab! Simon Goodwin takes a hanger. Pretty to watch. You can add that to the Brett Burton collection this afternoon. 2 absolute rippers. Goodwin now to finish off the job from 48 metres. Class. Goodwin gets his first. He's having a super season.
Right, Money, we're off. We'll see you at the party.
Yeah, no worries, fellas.
Bye.
I'll see you there.
Clever, fellas. Very clever.
I like a bloke who's man enough to wear pink. Come meet my friends.
Sure. Cheers for the fashion tip, fellas.
Classic.
Possessions last week in a losing side. As you said, Chris, 27 possessions this afternoon. Still over a quarter of football remaining here at Amy Stadium. 16-12 plays 8-3. Shirley goes back to Van Berlo. He's been busy, boat in front. Good, no, Rashudo, the skipper, onto the left boot. Will it come back? No, it won't. In fact, it goes out of bounds on the full.
Good sign for Crows fans though too. Schwatter, Mark Rashudo onto the footy. Legs are okay, trying to get some run in them.
Knights on the stretch. Good contest against Bentic. Head towards the pocket. No, he won't. Thompson, that's ignored. High ball. They'll fly. Man of the moment, Goodwin got a hand on it. Teague's under pressure. Look away handball. McGrath left it for a teammate. Thornton still deep in defence. Now pops a kick up towards Livingston. Good markers, Clark. Closed late. Set up well there in defence, Luke Livingston. Heads down the line. Lappin. Certainly doing his bit, Matthew Lappin. Possession number 15 coming up. As Luke Blackwell's replaced by Ryan Houlihan.
They go short, back inside, defensive 50 to Livingston, who can switch to Thornton. Houlihan works hard to present an option on right half back. Now Walker. Tumbles a kick to the advantage of John Cocker, not Prendergast. Inboard. Bassett in the corridor. Can have a bounce, can draw a man, can give it to Shirley. A fumble from him. Spins through a tackle and will now get it back. He stumbles. Houlihan gets hands on the ball. And we'll have a bounce 60 metres out from the Adelaide goal. 57 points the margin with 20 seconds remaining until the final change. Adelaide responding with 6 goals to 1 in this third term. After they copped a short jab from the Blues just before half-time. Rashudo to Bassett. From inside the centre square. Goes long and deep. Whitnell tries to hold his position. Over the back of the contest, it's Thornton. To Teague. Now Walker. Three-quarter time at AB Stadium. The Crows steadied magnificently like a good side does. They took 20 minutes at half-time to just regroup, reconsider and reload, and they came out in the third term and added 6 goals, 6 to Carlton's 1 straight goal. So 12 scoring shots to 1 in the third term. Adds up to a 57-point lead at three-quarter time. The Blues had their best second quarter for the season and then their lowest third quarter for the season as Adelaide just slammed the door right on their fingers.
That man on screen, Andrew McLeod, pivotal player in the third quarter. So much footy run off half-back. The Crows answer the challenge. Neil Craig puts it to them at half-time. They respond. This team is going places.
40 points at the first change, 21 at half-time. Now out to 57 points at three-quarter time. Saturday afternoon football on Fox Footy and Network 10. It's the Crows by 57 points.
The housemates think that this Sunday is just a normal eviction. They're so wrong. Live, 6:30 Sunday, Big Brother has an Australian first. A 2-hour live event that'll blow you away. All will be revealed in a must-watch 2-hour Big Brother. Live, 6:30 Sunday on 10. Ready for the next big twist.
It's a big act, very big act. It's a big act we're in. It's a big act. My God, it's big. Can't believe how big it is.
Shell Unleaded's new fuel economy formula is designed to do one thing above all. Take you further.
These days, there's so much to worry about. Do you have enough? Is it better over there? What if? It can mean you're living scared. MLC believes to make the most of tomorrow, simply make the most of what you got today. MLC, Investments, Superannuation, Insurance.
These guys look like they need a bit of a lift to keep them going, so I've prepared a little something with a few things I found around the place. So we've got some prawns on the go in here.
Where'd that bait get to, Pete? Put out in the sun to thaw out yesterday.
Ooh. Actually, the best way to fill blokes up is with a bit of this. Let's just let go of that.
Campbell's, the experts in soup.
That is, you know, good. Just don't touch that. How's the fishing? Still nothing?
Network 10 Adelaide would like to thank the support of their local sponsors. Stratco, what do you need today? Make it your way. Subway, eat fresh. Truscott's and TIAC, the plasma LCD and surround sound specialists. And Booze Brothers, proudly South Australian owned.
Physical contest than otherwise you might have thought. Adelaide 16-12, 108, Carlton 8-3, 51. Around the ground football's been pretty tight at times. It's just that Adelaide have been far more efficient forward of the centre, and just their class has just carried them to this 57-point lead. As we take a look at the numbers, they had the best of the inside 50s in that third term, the Crows. They really did get on top. They booted 6 goals, 6 to 1 goal straight, 12 scoring shots to 1 as we head down to Richard Osborne boundary side.
Yes, the Crows certainly showed their power and will in that third quarter. The pleasing thing again for coach Neil Craig was that they don't really rely on one goal kicker. Again, 11 goal kickers for the side. That has been the case all year round. For Carlton, though, I'm sure Dennis Pagan has said, boys, it's just going to be now a question of character. It's going to be a real test of character. Are we going to walk away with a 10-goal defeat here, or can we chip away and just plug away at it, boys? Let's hope they do.
One other game of action on this afternoon, Geelong and Richmond. If you don't want to know the score, look away now. Final term at AAMI Stadium, 57 points the margin. Biglands against French. Goodwin. Doughty. To half forward. Houlihan. Taken in a tackle by Riley. Comes to McGregor. Quick kick towards the top of the goal square. Rashudo in front position over the top. Thornton. It's still alive for Henschel. Can't get boot to ball. McGrath to Bentic. Now Walker. And Houlihan. Goes to a one-on-one. Koutafidis against Van Berlo. Just grabbed the jump up. Free kick to the Crow. Good use of the body from Van Berlo.
Did it well, the kid too. Big job here against Anthony Koutafidis. Mismatch in size. Fighting out of his division. Young fella did it beautifully.
Kicks inside 50. French got back to spoil Biglands. Thompson lurking with intent. From the pocket. Bends it back. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful finish from Scott Thompson.
Harvey Norman's moving hot deals on innovative appliances. First, Dyson revolutionised home cleaning with the bagless vacuum and no loss of suction. Now there's the Ball, the upright cleaner designed to give you greater manoeuvrability and versatility. With an amazing 30-day money-back guarantee, now's the time to score a great deal on the bagless Dyson Ball. Just $9.99 with a bonus car turbine head exclusive to Harvey Norman. Take the Ball for a spin now at your home appliance specialist.
Carlton. 19 possessions and none better than that. Last kick there from Scott Thompson with his second goal of the afternoon. French. A clean possession at it or swing at it. Spawn. Simpson goes back to Kudafidis. A chain of handballs. Spawn gets it to Bentic. Finally ends up with Scotland. Can go. Closes to 55. Loads up to the square. The Blues have the numbers. No, they don't. Favola was one out against two. Correctly called. Ball, too much carry on it, out of bounds. We'll have a throw in up against the left forward pocket for the Carlton side. Only one goal in that third term after they kicked 6 in that second quarter. We thought going into half-time that we've got a game on. Adelaide completely dominated after the half-time break. Whitnell to Favola. Already has one, Brendan. Does he have two? No, not on this occasion. Brings it back too far. Fall behind.
Had some good memories of Amy Stadium, has Brendan Favola. Not too many good ones today. Not a game, not a video he'll want to keep.
Scott Thompson trots away from 50. Almost comically, he and Lappin running side by side. He was trying to draw Lappin towards him so he could give it to Bassett. That was the end result. Kick from Thompson. Burton stumbles over it. Riley stands up in the tackle from Walker. Little kick towards Rashuto. Ninth touch for the skipper. He's booted 3 goals. He gives one off to Doughty here. He's looking to give it off as well. Difficult kick from this position. Michael Doughty's booted one. He's kicked 6 goals, 2 for the season, and here's a beautiful kick. So now that I've said that, he's got very little chance. Brett Burton coming off the ground. Looks like a shoulder.
Done a right wing by the looks.
Doughty's kick is good, but it's just fading across the face. Big pack of players and a Carlton mark as Burton brings himself off. Let's hope it's just a stinger. We'll get Richard Osborne onto that shortly. The ball's with Barnaby French.
We'll go from the goal line, Barnaby. Heads out wide. High ball. Crows with the numbers, one of which was Riley. Look at him queuing up here. Cross half forward, the Crows. John Cock. Whitnell arrived late. Couldn't get there. Knights in the stretch. Got plenty of time to mop it up. It's inside 50. John Cock had to wait. Prendergast. Henschel tunnelled the ball out only as far as Bentic. Loops a handball over to Scotland. Look out, here comes Van Berlo. Scotland did well. Got boot on ball to Stevens. Whitnell's got free. If he's quick, he can get it to Lance. He does. Bouncing ball. Favola's got time. Does he have the accuracy? No. The Bronx cheers of the Adelaide faithful tell the story. A little bit lackadaisy there, and you'd expect better from a very good player, Brendan Favola.
It was a low percentage play. Didn't come off for him. Matner did well. Won his one-on-one contest. Storms away from Kennedy. Kicks towards half forward. Thornton will arrive too late to stop Biglan's taking it on the chest. He's called to play on. Launches it high and long inside 50. Houlihan goes back across the pack. Got hands to it and got it to McGrath. Now Prendergast. Handball inside to Murphy, who's worked hard all afternoon, as has Scotland. As have most of the Blues, really. It hasn't been a work rate issue for them. They've tried hard, just haven't had the skill of execution, and we see a classic example there. Scotland goes back to try and win it. Ball goes to the line.
Same old story though for Carlton. A 3-man forward line has been a disaster all day. When they've gone to a 6-man forward line, like they did in the second quarter, they scored multiple goals. But again, the 3-man forward line plays into the Crows' hands.
Bentic from the congestion, got it to Murphy. He looks for Lappin. Kennedy attacks it. Lappin happy to sit off and wait for the contest. From 55, spears to Favola, and he's got it. 40 metres out directly in front. We'll go back to Lappin. Good pressure from Matner. Lappin under pressure now. Great tackle, McLeod. Ball up 20 metres out in front of the Carlton goal. It's Brendan Favola trying to dish it off to Matthew Lappin.
Brendan. Andrew McLeod, though, doing it beautifully. Favola has another poor moment. Too numerous to mention today.
Whitnell takes it out of the ruck, gets rid of it quickly. Scotland, Prendergast, right foot snap, tries to bend it around. Not enough. Minor score to Ian Prendergast, his first for the afternoon. The Blues 8-6. Adelaide 17-12.
Good news for Adelaide Crows fans. Brett Burton did go down to the rooms quickly, but no real problems at this stage. His shoulder looks fine.
Lovely kick out from Johncock, finds Rutten. Heads up the line, Riley on the stretch, couldn't take the mark. McGrath there to put pressure on. Did well, Corey McGrath. He's back to Koudafides, tight on the boundary line, too tight in fact. The bounds on the full.
It's been the story all day for Carlton, their 40th clanger. Adelaide 25, that is a story.
McGregor ran underneath the ball. Getting back there first was McGrath. Terrific tackle, Van Berlo. Crowd wants ball. Nathan wants it. Not getting it on this occasion. Done some good things in this second half, Chris.
He's a good kid. He is a good kid, improving his game every week. Toughened up this year. Got some genuine football courage. And a big motor. Runs all day.
French got a fingernail on it. Biglands does the tackling. And we'll go again.
It's the beauty of the Adelaide Footy Club. They are relentless. Never give you too many easy footies. Great sign of what you can expect from this club.
Bentic picks the ball up. You'll need to get rid of it if you're not careful. Riley over the top. Not having it this time.
Just want to make a point again about all the turnovers. I mentioned earlier it's more a point of a lack of confidence for the Carlton Football Club than a skill area. I know people would say, well, look, they're professional footballers. They train morning and night. How can they miss targets like that? It's easy. You get a seed of doubt in your mind. You're telling yourself, oh, am I going to hit this target? It can happen at any level.
Bentic to Scotland. Looks up. Nothing there and has to go laterally. It's it to Thornton. There's Lappin loose. 10 yards out from his defensive goal square. Heads up the line. Dangerous kick. Downey closing on McGrath. Loose ball. Riley just needs to get it. McGregor couldn't do it on this occasion. Lappin finally gets it to Scotland. They relieve for the moment. Wiggins. Handball over the top to Houlihan and he can go. Straight up the middle of Lance now. Inside the centre square. Favola. One out. Lance off a step. Will Brendan get there? Yes, he does. Well, distance isn't an issue. He's had 2 shots at goals already in this fourth quarter for 2 behinds, lining up for his second goal this afternoon. It's been well held by Ben Rutten. From 53 metres, Brendan Favola. It's a lovely looking kick. That is a magnificent kick for goal. He's got 2.
Peter de Graves opened the Cascade Brewery in 1824 and soon after invented the first beer can. Holding 30 gallons, the new beer can was an instant success. The invention was only marred by an increase in back problems caused by people trying to take home a 6-pack. Much experimentation with packaging followed, resulting in the convenient size we know today. So thank you, Peter de Graves, for knowing how much of a good thing is a good thing. That's the Cascade way.
10 minutes gone, final term. There's Brett Burton on the bench. In there somewhere. 54 points the margin. Biglands over the top of French. Bentic got first hands on the football. Koudafides tries to win it and does. Rips it away from Van Berlo. High kick. Awkward bounce towards half forward. It pitches on its end. Bode. Slick hands to Goodwin. Now Matner. Back to Goodwin. Releases McLeod. Been at his free-flowing best this afternoon, Andrew McLeod. 27th possession coming up. Just looks at Murphy, says, by all means, feel free to join me. Runs to 55. Goes to the top of the square. 2 on 2. Thompson, goal. Point. Hit the post. So laconic from Scott Thompson. Swiveled and kicked in one motion.
Andrew McLeod at his best. Plenty of highlights today from the Adelaide Football Club. None better than that from Andrew McLeod. A little bit of razzle-dazzle.
Stevens to Houlihan and now Thornton. Goes towards Walker. Takes it on the chest in front of Doughty. The run from Houlihan.
Oh, gee.
And a kick straight to Stevens. Misread the Whitnall lead, thought he was doubling back when indeed Lance was barrelling forward. Left Stevens unattended to take a simple mark. Gives it to John Cock, and now Bigland's on centre wing. He thought about the short option to Shirley, but then realised that Walker was just hanging off him. So decides to kick longer. There is Walker, that was almost brilliant. Umpire calls play on. Adelaide fans wanting a free kick to Hayden Skipworth. He's pirouetted in mid-air and almost brought it down. Bentic dumped into the turf. Scotland got it out, but only as far as Shirley. Flips it over the top of the congestion. Here's McLeod again. Looks to set up. Sells the dummy. Sweeps it back to Matner. Now Bassett. Now Van Berlo from centre wing.
He's got John Cock short and wide. Can go, Graham. Has a bounce. Bentic in pursuit. Closes to 50. Floats the ball towards the top of the square. Was there a push in the back? Yes, there was. Kenny McGregor wins himself the free kick as Hayden Skipworth is replaced by Chris Massey. Luke Livingston, hands on head, in despair, but the free kick was there. Three goals, one. Ken McGregor. Four multiple goal scorers this afternoon, the Adelaide Crows. 11 goal kickers for the afternoon. Tight angle. What game to comment this time, Chris?
No, too scared.
Good reason. Disappointing result. Kenny McGregor got the fat piece of the ball out of bounds on the full.
Well, Brendan Favola gave him a sight, huh? So he must have been thinking that he was going to kick it. He didn't say it, but he must have been thinking it.
I didn't want to do it to him. Didn't want to do it to him. Had a good day, though, Kenny McGregor. 11 goal kickers, as you said, swatted for the Crows. Options galore up forward. It's been a good performance.
Lappin goes to Wiggins, and in one motion, he sweeps it wide to Walker, who just takes it in one hand. Beautiful ball control from Andrew Walker. And naturally enough, I've done it to him again as the kick goes wide. That time it just pitches inside the line. I could be a tagger. Wouldn't actually even have to get out there. I could just sit here in the grandstand and comment about how great he's going today. French. Scotland. High ball. Favola in position at the front. Fist comes from behind Rutten. Whitnell couldn't quite get boot to ball the first time. Rutten refuses to concede. Keeps it alive. Adelaide fans like it. Scotland makes contact with Thompson. It opens a path for John Cock. Wiggins puts in the big ones. Can't quite get there. Nice kick from John Cock to bring it inboard to Knights. He can go to the middle. Van Berlo's got an overlap runner if he can pick it up. Lappin got in there. It was an important body. Handball ricocheted back to Van Berlo. Here's Knights again. Through Massey. He gets it back from Clark. Now to Thompson at 55. Spears a kick inside, multiple options, and he hits Chris Knights on the chest.
Great work rate from Chris Knight and from Adelaide. So many strings to their bow, this football club, but none more important than their fitness. Run games out so hard, they're relentless in their attack on ball and body. Chris Knights, a ball magnet of the future.
8th game of league football, the youngster from Vermont. This for his first league goal. From 45 out. Fixed him too. I've been consistent today, if nothing else.
Haven't missed a trick. Good to see him back in the team, though. Chris Knights wins plenty of the footy, starring in local footy over here. 30-odd touches last week, earns his spot. Kid can play. Got a career ahead of him, that's for sure.
Lappin to Houlihan. I think it's a great observation, though, Chris. The Adelaide Crows, they're running as hard now if they weren't in that first term. Lappin under pressure, ball goes out of bounds. but just their willingness to work hard for one another, and they don't run into similar spots. A lot of sacrificial running.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got big motors, all of them, and Neil Craig loves that side of it, works them very hard on the track. They'll have flat moments in game, but come the end of the fourth quarter, they are running hard.
Clark going to Bode. Managed to get the ball out to Thompson. Goes back further afield to Massey. Gets it back Thompson. Now squares it up. Knights. Too far out. Goes short. Van Berlo. They're waxing now, the Crows players. It's turned into a training drill. Rutten, the furthest player from the defensive goal for the Adelaide players. John Copp, a little bit too easy around Walker. Finish it off, Andrew. Low kick. Will it get the carry? No. Clark, what's he doing in there, Matthew Clark? Can't get a boot on ball. Rush behind. And the big fella doesn't often get forward. The Carlton players made sure he didn't get a goal this afternoon.
Tell you what, the old fella's having a pretty good year too. Hands have been good this year, playing cameos off the bench, rotating on the ruck with Rhett Biglands, having an impact on this football club.
It's a great story because he was all but finished.
Gone, and Neil Craig has found something in him. Encouraged him to play too, was thinking about retirement. It's so important to this team.
Luck of the draw, Ben Hudson doing his knee just before the finals last year gave Matthew Clark the opportunity. Simpson, Australian endeavour today. Over the top to McGrath. Goes towards Stevens, and he takes the mark on the wing. Handball to the runner, Murphy, still going hard. That's great work from Mattner, one of the best tacklers in the competition. Stevens to Knights. Opens the door now for Thompson. Thought about a handball over the top to Massey. From 55 out, Massey on the lead, Goodwin. Great work from Martin Mattner.
Well, that is vintage Mattner. Goodwin will get the credit for the goal, but that man on screen, I mean, this is as good as it gets. Takes some strength as that. Best tackler in the comp. Goodwin ends up with the footy. That is brilliant. The Crows' 11th tackle for the quarter. Carlton have laid 4.
Possession 31 for Goodwin. He's kicked one. Another poster. Since half-time, the Crows have added 7 goals, 10. That's 17 scoring shots. Carlton have added 2 goals, 3. 17 scoring shots to 5. Tells the tale after the major break.
Could have been a whole lot worse too for the Blues.
Still might be.
Yeah, Andrew Walker, disappointing kick. McGregor, best tackler in the competition according to Chris McDermott. Marty Mattner, no 15, he'll get it back. Now load up. No, he won't. On the right boot, won't make the distance. Tumbling kick. Good spoil on that occasion. Houlihan, Bode, dangerous around goal. Not on this occasion. Luke Livingston chips in front and takes an easy mark.
Goes out wide, was uncertain of the option. Catch. Good grab from Prendergast. Outsized Bode. Lappin. Whitnell stood and waited. Bassett attacked it. Van Berlo in mid-air. Give off in mid-air to Massey, if you don't mind. A bit of Harlem Globetrotters as Riley goes to McGregor. Beautiful football from the Crows. How about the give in mid-air? Chris Massey, Nathan Van Berlo. Let's have another look. There's Van Berlo in mid-air, if you don't mind. Little give over the top.
Beautiful to watch. A lot of talk about the Crows' foot skills, how good they are. Do not ignore their hands. Not the Crow throw anymore. Legitimate handball. You may well laugh, W. Schwass.
Just want to know who pioneered that Crow throw, Chris.
No idea.
As I look at you.
No idea. Doesn't matter. Days of old. McGregor for his 4th.
Got it. McGregor gets his 2nd.
We travel the world to bring you the delicious taste of Italy. The special edition Parmigiana sub. Yumma mia. Parmigiana combo. Just $6.95. Taste the world at Red Rooster.
Big Aussie Sixes have all been going the same way. Till now. Coming soon, a Big Six inspired not by touring cars, but by Formula One. Toyota Orion V6. Make your move.
Well, I must remember when I play golf with Chris McDermott to count your score for you. I wouldn't mind betting there'd be a foot wedge in your bag. 18 goals, 16, 124 the Adelaide Crows, 9 goals, 660.
Keep control, you two.
Simpson wrapped up in a tackle by Riley. We'll go again. Just under 5 minutes remaining here at Amy Stadium. Just under 41,200 people have come here to watch a very impressive display by a side that was beaten against an opposition that on paper was not going to get within a Bulls rule last week, but they did. Went down to the Tigers by 3 points, and they bounced back emphatically this afternoon. A fairly torrid week on the criticism front, Chris. Neil Craig and his merry men.
Caught plenty this week. Team probably got off lightly. Neil Craig certainly bore the brunt of most of the criticism. Slow to react in the box, they say. Well, not challenged in the box today, but his playing group has stood tall.
Clark, Skipworth, Stevens, Teague. Not seeing him go anywhere. We'll have a bounce. 52 metres from the Adelaide goal. We're pleased with what they've seen this afternoon, Neil Craig and his assistant coaches. Clark and French will go at it again. French, Van Berlo has got better as the game gone on. Teague. Oh, John Cock flew high, couldn't take the mark. It looked impressive. Luke Blackwell over the top. Good steal there from Simpson. Murphy to McLeod. Go for a run, Andrew. No. Decides to move it further afield. They've got the numbers. Skipworth goes to Massey. He's got Matner short if he wants it. Ignores that. High ball, centering. Livingston in front. Couldn't take the mark. Bowed. Wrong side for a left footer. Handball. Look out. Sets Knight up. Good tackle there. On that occasion was David Teague, and will have a bounce 35 metres from goal inside the Adelaide Crows attacking 50.
Yeah. Hard day in the Carlton box. S. Kernahan at the back. Seen him look happier.
Thompson wrapped up by Teague. Was that just a timing issue for Luke Livingston then, that mark, Chris, that he dropped? Is it a timing issue?
Can I say it again?
Well, he appeared to almost sort of take it on the way down and flat-handed. French, Teague, Stevens, shrugs off Bode. Little handball to Koutafidis. Blackwell over the top to Wiggins. It's going to go to Stevens in the corridor. John Cox standing and waiting.
Lost count.
It's easy to blame Wiggins on that occasion. He was almost trying to make a kick out of nothing because there was just nothing to kick to. And he's kicked it to where he wanted Stevens to run, and Stevens couldn't quite get there. Lappin. Little give off to Teague, and he'll get it back now. He's got a man by himself on centre wing. It's Brendan Favola. Plays on quickly, can go down the line to Prendergast. He's got Whitnell inside 50, one-on-one with Stevens. Kicks into the man coming at him. Tries to butter up again, Prendergast. There is Whitnell. Bassett. McLeod's had a comfortable day, as has John Cock.
31 touches, Andrew McLeod, 29 to John Cock.
Save for the 10 minutes just before half-time. The Crows have had a reasonably comfortable day all round. It's been a ferocious contest. The Blues have worked hard, but they just have not been good enough. As Thornton gives it to Walker. He accelerates to 45, Walker. And gives it up to Stevens.
Bassett. He's had a fair bit of the ball too, Nathan Bassett. 27 possessions. Bouncing ball favours McGregor. Couldn't keep it in. John Cock with 29. Andrew McLeod 32. Nathan Bassett 27. Good stats, Chris, for your defensive end.
Career high for Nathan Bassett.
Uncontested, a lot of them too. Dennis Pagan just conceded that. Let Bassett run around at will and McLeod and paid a heavy price.
He's Scotland. Biggest possession winner on the ground for Carlton. Prendergast did well. Handball intended for Favola. But the Rolls-Royce of the Adelaide Crows, Andrew McLeod, just gathers the ball, cruises out of the fence, finds up a loose man. Dowdy. Rutten wants to get on the end of a handball. Another one of these fine defenders in the Adelaide Crows defence. They've done it again. The Crows, their defence is ranked #1 in the competition. Average points against 70. Well, they've beaten that thus far by 10 points this afternoon as Scott Thompson Gets on the end of it, outer side of the ground, looks to square it up, ignores it, and finds Scotty Stevens all alone.
From 65 out, attacks the goal square. Goodwin gets into position. McGrath did well. He was very much out of position, got a fist to it, didn't concede the free kick, and took it to the line with 1:21 remaining on the clock.
Two fairly significant losses for the Carlton Football Club. Where now for them, boys, in the next couple of weeks?
Bit of hard work on the track, I guess, Chris, and just got to keep ploughing away, trying to develop the youngsters.
No other option. The kids have been good today, though. You know, the kids haven't let them down.
Scotland gets it back from Thornton. There's no shortcuts for the Blues. It's a long road back to being a contender.
Andrew Walker's had 22 touches, Mark Murphy 23. Youngsters holding up on a tough afternoon.
He's got to do it the long way, the Blues, through the draft. Get young talents and work with them, develop them. Patience required from Carlton fans. Teague to Simpson. There's an example of one of those youngsters that they've managed to get a couple of years into. Favola at 50, couldn't quite hang on. Murphy and over the top of Skipworth. Rutten picks up the football, fends Favola off with strength. McLeod, 34th touch. Now to Massey. Bassett lining up to increase his personal best, and he does with a handball. He's up to 29, Bassett. Goodwin, inside 50, time for one more. Houlihan out of position, did well, got a fist to it. Livingston with a handball to Thornton. He cops one right on the siren. And for the 6th week in a row, the Adelaide Crows have kept their opposition to less than 70 points. And they've done it in style this afternoon. They were challenged just before half-time. They saw off the challenge and ran away 64-point winners. Adelaide 18-16, 124. Defeat the Blues 9-6-60. The margin 64 points. They led by 40 points at the first change, 21 at the major break, 57 at three-quarter time, before adding 2 goals 4 to 1 goal 3 in that final term to run out 64-point winners. Mark Rasciuto and Trent Henschel finished with 3 goals apiece. 2 to Burton, McGregor and Thompson. Singles to Bode, Doughty, Johncock, Stevens, Riley and Goodwin. While for the Blues, 3 to Lappin, 2 to Favola, singles to Murphy, Simpson, Whitnell and Koutafidis. Let's head down to Simon Goodwin with Richard Osborne. Goodwin finishing with 32 possessions, 1 goal 2.
Simon, 32 possessions, 1 goal 2. Another fair day at the office. You'd be very happy with that.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, great to respond after last week. We're all pretty ordinary and, you know, we wanted to try and get on top of the contested footy in the first quarter. We did that, but we had laps in the second quarter and, you know, we had to really fight it out.
One habit the Adelaide Crows are starting to make quite formidable this year is 11 goal kickers. You don't really leave it up to, you know, a 10 goal kicker like the good old days of Tony Modra. Someone doesn't stand up, someone else will. Ken McGregor today, just to name a few goal kickers. It's very encouraging for the Crows.
Yeah, it is. You know, we've got a forward system that seems to be working well. We've got lots of goal kickers and everyone's contributing. And you know, that's what this footy club's about, is weighted numbers. And you know, if we can continue with 11 goal kickers each week, we'll be happy.
Another boy, I'm not sure his name, Andrew McLeod, I think it is. He might be a fair footballer one day. He just had the ball on the string today. He's week in, week out. He's just there was one situation there where he just had the ball on the string. The theory goes that if you've got the ball and you bounce it, you're supposed to be slower than the guy chasing it. He just put yards between him and his opponent. Just magical to watch.
Yeah, he's a freak. You know, he runs well with the footy, and from down back, it's just a luxury to have him down there because he uses the ball so well from there.
And it's not just the older players. You've got Van Berlo and the young kids coming through. There's certainly some special kids on the list now.
Yeah, we have. We've got a really good list developing. You know, these kids come in and they pick up the rope and do the job for everyone, and you know, it's a good sign for us.
Well done, Simon. Good stuff, champ.
Cheers, mate.
He's the number 1 ball getter in the competition, Simon Goodwin, and added another 32 possessions today to his total. He's Number 1 in the competition for disposals, 2nd for handball, receives and loose gets, 3rd for long kicks. He gets it and he does something with it.
Runs and carries over lines to Simon Goodwin. It is a happy camp. They needed to respond today. Important game for the Adelaide Footy Club. It might have been Carlton, it might have been an easy win, but it was a significant one. Plenty of criticism during the week. They respond, show support to their coach. It is a great environment here at West Lakes. Some happy faces. Ben Rutten's a happy man. He had a good afternoon. So did Brett Burton. Little sore shoulder. Mark Rasciuto kicked 3. He's been finished on the pine, but the skipper's happy. Not too much wrong with that game of footy today.
Adelaide Crows improved their record to 7-2 in season 2006. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. Home today by 64 points on Saturday afternoon football.
You're just minutes away from 10's do-or-die battle at the Dome. Essendon Port Adelaide is live next on 10.
Right now at Truscott's, you can buy any of these with no deposit, no interest for 48 months. You know how good Truscott's prices are. Well, now you also get 48 months, no deposit, no interest terms on a huge range at Truscott's.
There's no feeling like M3 Power. Press the button and feel the power. Introducing M3 Power Nitro. Gillette M3 Power with a bold new look. Turn it on, nothing shaves better. M3 Power Nitro from Gillette.
You know what I love about Subway restaurants? Same thing you do. Great tasting food and lots of it. They've got tons of choices, so you can get something different every day. I'm gonna go check out what deal they have today. Now this is a deal worth walking all the way across town for.
The $3.50 daily special. Every day a different delicious, great tasting 6-inch Subway sub on fresh baked bread, fresh toasted and made the way you like it for just $3.50. 7 days, 7 great 6-inch subs, all for the one daily special price of just $3.50.
Subway. Eat fresh.
I'm at the gateway to the world's largest wildlife sanctuary. It's called Australia. Crikey! The invisible fence that protects our natural wonders and agriculture is quarantine. Help them make sure nothing dangerous gets in. Declare all food, plant and animal material because that's where the danger lurks. If you don't and they fine, it could be a whopping fine for you. Quarantine matters.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Sun Brothers are famous for big grabs. We're famous for big savings, with specials like any 2 bottles of Johnny Walker Red, Smirnoff Vodka or Cougar Bourbon for only $50. Choose from the Stanley 4-litre cask range, just $7.99 each. Or buy any 2 cartons of Carlton Draft or VB for $70 with 2 bonus long necks. Booze Brothers, we know booze.
These guys look like they need a bit of a lift to keep them going, so I've prepared a little something with a few things I found around the place. So we've got some prawns on the go in here.
Where'd that bait get to, Pete? Put out in the sun to thaw out yesterday.
Ooh. Actually, the best way to fill blokes up is with a bit of this. Just let go of that.
Campbell's, the experts in soup.
That is, you know, good. Just don't touch that. How's the fishing? Still nothing?
Right now at Truscott's, you can buy any of these with no deposit, no interest for 48 months. You know how good Truscott's prices are. Well, now you also get 48 months, no deposit, no interest terms on a huge range at Truscott's.
8:30 Sunday.
Detective Goran.
The Brains.
Detective Logan.
The Brawn.
They'll tackle a case together for the very first time.
A special movie-length Criminal Intent. 8:30 Sunday.
21 at half-time when the Blues added 5 goals in 10 minutes just before the major break. They reasserted their dominance, the Crows, with 6 goals to 1 in the third term to make it 57 points at the final change before running out comfortable 64-point winners, 18-16 to 9 goals 6. Mark Rasciuto finished with 3 goals, as did Trent Henschel. It was a good, even, balanced performance. What we expect from the Crows when they're up and going. They have a very, very even contribution across 22 players.
Yeah, I think it was an atypical game for Adelaide. 11 goal kickers up forward, plenty of options. McGregor, Henschel, Rasciuto, as you said. Very, very clinical. Little ordinary in the second quarter. Had a bit down moment. Neil Craig addresses it at half-time and blew the opposition away in the second half. Fit, hard, strong. Not too many weaknesses in this team and some players to come back as well.
Pretty much the most disciplined side of the competition. When they're up and going well, they're so well drilled. And even last week, it wasn't an issue of discipline. It was more an issue of just tactically they were sort of thrown out of kilter a little bit. But today, again, we saw right till the last minute of the game, when they're up and going, irrespective of what's happening on the scoreboard, they play their football exactly the same way.
Yeah, they do, and I think they're Neil Craig's non-negotiables. You know, he builds his team around competition. He wants them to run hard, to be super fit, which they are, to tackle like they do. It's all about competition, and he puts the skills secondary, but their foot skills and hand skills today were outstanding. I mean, that was a big contrast in the two teams. How many times we groaned when Carlton got the footy and missed easy kicks, couldn't hit a target. Adelaide rarely missed and made Carlton pay a heavy price.
64 points the final margin. For much of the day, because of that opening start that Adelaide had, the scoreboard was, I guess, deceptive. The margin between the sides wasn't that big for most of the day, but really by the time you got to the end of the day, 64 points is a pretty fair indication.
Yeah, it looked ugly on the scoreboard. Big moment in the second quarter, right at the end. Brendan Favola, when he turned the footy over, you know, it was just so crucial. Carlton could have gone in a little bit closer, makes a mistake, broke their heart. And then the start of the third quarter, we knew the Crows were going to come out hard. They did that. Carlton a bit defensive for me in the third quarter, couldn't understand it, and it wasn't good in the second half, was it?
They're a very good starting side, the Adelaide Crows. They hit the ground running in each quarter. A 64-point win to them. That'll please their coach Neil Craig. Here he is with Richard Osborne in the winners' rooms.
Well, Neil, again, 11 goal kickers. There seems to be a lot of options up forward. You'd be happy with today's effort?
Yeah, it was always nice, Richard, to have a good spread of goal kickers, so you just don't rely on any particular individual. Every now and again, an individual will get a good bag, but that's to spread the workload and to spread the work up there was pretty pleasing for us.
Neil, Jason Bennett and Chris McDermott upstairs, congratulations on the win. It's been a pretty interesting week for you. What's Neil Craig learned about AFL football this week? It's been a bit of a ride, hasn't it?
Oh, that's okay, Jason. Yeah, what you learn is that at this level and with the amount of focus that our sport gets, is that everyone is critiqued every week. That's fine, and if your performance is not up to scratch, well, you deserve what you get. And certainly, whilst we tried to persist last week for some what I would think good reasons, quite clearly the timing of all that was out, and so the appropriate critique was written. That's fine.
Glenn Craig, you continue to find blokes to step up in the back half. You lose Benny Hart, plug another hole, and Nathan Bassett, McLeod and John Cock and Ben Rutten were sensational today.
They were, Chris. I thought Scotty Stevens was pretty good as well on Whitnell. So yeah, those guys have been pretty solid all year. Benny Hart's a big loss for us, just from a seniority point of view, on top of his playing ability, of course, but every club's got injuries, and you've got to look at the Western Bulldogs last night, the injuries they've got as well. So we've all got them, so it's just a matter of, what the best you can do.
And you must be happy with your kids too. We love the way Nathan Van Berlo is developing as a footballer. Chris Knight's got some important touches, so at both ends, top and young kids as well, getting the job done for you.
Yeah, Chris, Nathan Van Berlo's, his improvement in the last month has been exceptional. And the good thing about today, we're able to leave him on the ground for the second half in particular, and some of his work in close, for a kid of his age and experience was very, very good. So we're really pleased with Nathan. Chris got another opportunity today and, showed what he can do. You've got other young kids, you've got Paul Pleasure, you've got Marriage around the place, all pushing up. With Vernie Vince, hopefully we'll get another look at AFL football, plus our other young guys. So, so it's the ability to step up and perform is the key thing, not just play.
Neil, the thing that I really admire about the culture of the Adelaide Crows at the moment, you have a really good culture in your football department, is just the consistency of effort. When we see Adelaide turn up week to week, the effort is just consistent from the first minute of the game to the last minute of the game, week in, week out. I guess that's something that you guys do put quite an emphasis on.
Well, Yeah, the players pride themselves on that perception, Jason. We were disappointed with the effort you're talking about. We were disappointed with that last week. And that's not taking anything away from Richmond, but and that was one of the reasons we sat a bit longer, just to see whether that effort would come back and see what happened to the game. But our playing group was certainly disappointed with their effort last week, but in general, they do pride themselves on it and like to be recognised for the effort that you've painted a picture of.
Hey Neil, Carlton did come at you in the second quarter. Did you think it was game back on at half-time?
Yeah, I think it is, Chris. I'm a great believer that 5 goals or 6 goals, 5 goals is not a big margin in AFL football anymore. It can turn so very quickly. So it was always a situation where it could have become, very close. But to the credit of our guys, I thought the way they sort of reset themselves at half-time and came out in the second half was certainly something they'd be very happy with.
Well, Neil, thanks very much for your time. Congratulations on another very solid performance this afternoon. 7-2 after 9 weeks, travelling well.
Good on you, Jason. Thanks, Chris.
Neil Craig down in the winners' room. 64-point winners, the Adelaide Crows. Back with more from Amy Stadium right after this.
We can't stop kids being kids, but Medibank Private can help cover the cost of life's little surprises. We have ways to help your family save, like a yearly $200 bonus towards health expenses. Plus, no hospital excess for kids. Wouldn't your family be better off with Medibank Private? To find out how, talk to us today.
I feel better now. I made this.
Creative industries attract
creative minds.
Art, science, technology.
We're always breaking new ground.
I have an idea.
South Australia embraces
new ideas.
We think big.
South Australia nurtures creativity, encourages innovation,
and succeeds through technology
globally
and locally.
Creativity now and in the
future.
Watch the AFL with Big Pond on your 3G mobile.
I want to fly.
I want mud, lots of mud. And badges, heaps of badges. I want to help my community.
I want to do it all. You want mud? You've got it.
If you want to do it all, join the Scouts.
Toyota and RPM are giving you the chance to win the ultimate Formula One experience. VIP passes to the German Grand Prix, plus you get to drive a Formula One car, all valued at nearly $50,000. Log on to rpmlive.tv now to enter.
YBL, the Young Business Leaders Program, helped me to develop both professionally and personally. It's a great start to any career.
This training and awards program helps young people develop leadership skills while helping the community.
At Hagues, we proudly sponsor the program. It's a great South Australian initiative and we recommend it to any business.
For details about the Young Business Leaders Program, contact the Royal Society for the Blind. Young business leaders looking for young people with vision.
Wedgedale might look like a normal Aussie town. It's anything but.
I'm Sandra Sultry with the Wedge Local News.
8 o'clock Tuesday, this town is putting comedy back on the map.
I just want to send you this one thing for Valentine's Day.
Get ready to meet the Wedgies.
Let him get back to what he likes doing best. Okay.
And playing sport. You'll love the Wedge. Premiering 8 o'clock Tuesday on 10.
I'll be back with less in just a moment.
Full time at Amy Stadium, the Crows improved their record to 7-2 in season 2006 with a 64-point win, 18-16, 124 to 9-6-60. They added 8 goals to 2 after half-time to run away to that comfortable margin. Henschel and Rashudo finishing with 3 goals apiece. Burton, Thompson, McGregor all finished with 2, while Lappin booted 3, Favola 2 for the Blues. McLeod with a game-high 34 possessions, Goodwin 32. Nathan Bassett with a career-best 29, while Heat Scotland finished with 33 possessions for the Blues. It's Take a look at the numbers, Chris. Disposal count remarkably high in modern football as it is every week. But really, when you look down those numbers, we commented a couple of times during the course of the game, given the differential on the scoreboard, the actual contest itself wasn't that spread. In the end, the Crows got on top, but it was really a tighter game than the scoreboard indicated for much of it.
No doubt about it. I mean, the big differential there is the inside 50s. The Crows smashed them after half-time. That was within 3 at half-time. 19 at the end tells the story. What we don't see is the clanging Carlton's was high. They couldn't hit a target by foot. That was the most disappointing aspect all day. Plenty of footy, enough of it to be a lot closer on the scoreboard, but in the end, Adelaide far too good.
Direct turnovers by foot in the end, 25 to Carlton, just 10 to Adelaide. You can't give a side like Adelaide 25 free hits.
Well, they must have been 25 times. We said, I think you'll hit this target, and we got it wrong. Yeah, you led that clanging count, that's for sure.
We'll put our hand up and take some credit for that, or some blame for that. But in the end, 41,157 fans here at AAMI Stadium. Great crowd, great day for football. In the end, it pretty much went to script for Adelaide fans. They ran out 64-point winners to improve their record in season 2006 to 7-2. We'll keep talking about the game a little bit shortly, but 14-2 now at AAMI Stadium in the last 12 months.
Made it the house, made it theirs, haven't they? And for a while they went off the boil here at AAMI Stadium. They gave up home ground advantage. It is certainly theirs now. Neil Craig's made a real point to make sure that opposition teams have got to fear AAMI Stadium, and they certainly do that.
The Blues just one win on the road under Dennis Pagan. It wasn't to be for them this afternoon. Adelaide 64-point winners. Very impressive performance at AAMI Stadium.